Hi.
I can't hear you. Wait, hold on. Maybe
Wait, can you guys hear me?
I think my volume was down.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I was like, what?
Welcome to your first live. Yes, so yeah, if you can send your heart me's and your likes, I guess. This is like my first day. I feel like this is my first live. Um, I'm waiting to see. So yeah, Stephanie should be coming on here and hold on. I got hold on, I'm looking at my email.
You guys share it to everyone. That way they know we're on. This is going
Yeah.
to be a special live.
Yeah, we have a special guest. Hopefully that she jumps
She
on.
said she's going to come on, so we're
Okay.
counting on her.
Okay.
Hey,
Um wait, what am I doing? What am I looking for? My phone all of a sudden.
Jeff.
Hi Jeb. Hi Posey. Hi Ian. Did anyone catch the current post or video from Christine today that she did her last installment for reacting to Natalie and Chris Cuomo's interview?
She posted one today.
Yeah, it was today. That was the one I was telling you about. That at the end she was
Oh, I thought
like,
you were talking about part number 2.
"No, this was part number 3. She did it today." She's
You
like,
guys, I'm going to be honest. It's hard for me to keep up with her content. She's so vile and hateful that I need breaks in between watching her. Like
disgusting.
it's and the only reason why I do watch it is because I know she's gonna tell lies that I gotta debunk. So,
Yeah,
I gotta know about this. But
you
how
have to unfollow
anyone
her. Yeah,
how anyone watches her for entertainment,
I know.
I
And
don't
the
know.
thing is, like, that second one, the about like the second installment of her of them reacting, like she was just doing like real like F bombs and everything, like you effing B, blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah, she was whew.
She was going in, like, what in the world?
She is a very hateful human being. It's
She's
sad to
very,
say.
very hateful, unfortunately. Um, you know what's so bad right now? Like the lighting, we probably cannot see. Um, Let me do that. Okay. Now you can probably see it a little bit better, like the comments. Maybe I should put like a black thing right here.
Y'all just fucking send it to everyone. Everyone.
Much better.
I'm literally sending it to everyone right now.
um, yeah. It's real bright. I don't know what's going on.
Wait, what is?
The light back here, like I guess when I get
Oh,
in
there
the
we go.
picture, I have to be like this.
It zooms in on your face.
Are we able to share as wait, if anyone is friends with Mimi, um, or has messaged her, if you can share this to her and tell her to send it to Stephanie, but right now we're only at 16, which is not that bad, but I want
Um,
her to know that thank you, Jeff, to send it to Stephanie. But I think while we wait, do you want me to play that third installment or no?
yeah, yeah. That is
Because
perfectly
I
fine.
absolutely despise that woman. Is Stephanie still alive? I don't know. She was just a few moments ago, but I did go in her live. She said she was going to pop in. Thanks for the mushroom. Oh, it's a singing mushroom. That's so cute. Okay. And then, of course, my computer is ancient. Oh, Stephanie's still live. Okay. All right. We'll start with this, and then she'll probably come in. Probably not right away then. My hand is getting tired. I am brushing my hair and putting. Oh, Rose, that's for you. Oh, thanks for the hand heart. You don't want to know. I think my favorite is. I wonder what they say about me.
And you know what? I know that they have come across my page because Becky has viewed my page, and I have screenshots of her viewing my page. So
she has? Does she have a TikTok?
Becky?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I made a TikTok about it. I'm surprised, but it was a while back. But I know she has come across my page. So.
Oh, thanks, Sarah. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Dee Dee.
Hi guys. Hi everyone. Come on in and share
it to help you guys read the comments because I'm wearing a white shirt and everything blends in. Yeah, I tried to put out the flyer a little bit earlier, and also this is this is not our normal time, right? We normally go live in like 2 hours. We're doing an early live because we're supposed to have Stephanie join us when she's done with her.
Share, guys. I mean, we could always post snippets of this live later, but we want everyone as much as possible to be in here.
Unhinged, let's see. Okay, now I'm able to see. Oh, thanks for the hat, Crystal. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get to my account that has no ads. You know, I have like 20 and they blocked all of them. Okay. This is going to be part 3.
You know, I'm surprised they haven't blocked me, but they did block me from being able to leave a comment, a super chat comment.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're dumb. Oh, I can't say that on here.
Bullying.
Christine here, the big sister unhinged, sitting here with my
co-host get your coffee
and my cousin Becky Buckwild. Do you know that my daughter Mia? Have I told you before?
Can you guys hear?
Yeah.
Should I try and put it like in the front, or is it hearing just okay?
No, it's good. It sounded fine to me.
Or how for Easter, Valentine's Day, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day, my birthday, especially Christmas, even little holidays, she'll start planning my gift maybe sometimes 3 months in advance.
Thank
you. She makes the gift bag first, and I always have to have paper, stapler, and tape on hand for her.
Oh, that's nice.
Creative too. I don't know. I love her.
You do realize
I feel bad for your daughter.
I'm here for.
That's what you're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I understand your concern for what she would realize.
Oh, listen to what she says here.
She is so cool.
We took a little break from Cuomo interview because it gets my blood boiling. But how do you feel about getting back into it?
Sounds wonderful.
I know.
Hi, Melly.
It is.
Hi, ladies.
So, Stephanie said she would be joining us here. She's gonna pop in, so I don't know when she is gonna pop in, but we're gonna just go over the video that they posted today.
Thanks for the gifts, guys.
Yeah, thanks for the gifts. Good. Also, Melly, did you have questions for the Federal Habeas Corpus Like when she comes?
I might, yeah. If she
If you
comes,
think of
yeah.
any, yeah.
Yeah, I'll think of some. I'm sure.
Okay. I'm gonna play this.
Okay.
Not wonderful, but I feel like we do need to finish reviewing it because we have to know what they're lying about. You know, that we have to be able to call them out in their lies. And who else is better to do it than you?
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
That's what you're here for.
I understand your concern for what she would realize, but you do realize that
They stopped it on the part where they're talking about hypnotizing Mackenzie. Like Mackenzie is interested in getting hypnotized, but she doesn't, know how she feels about that. So
it's the only thing that can really change the fact basis of what is understood right now, and it is one of the most compelling points of prejudice against her, that there is a convenience to this amnesia, that the one thing that you need to know, you don't know. And I understand the counter. I understand it, and it's compelling, which is, why wouldn't she make up a story? Why wouldn't she say Dom did it, or Davion did it, or we all did it, or this is what happened, or I had an episode.
Stephanie's here.
Because it would only help her, and
That's
she
right.
didn't.
That's right.
Fair point. But it does seem to be the only other thing that could happen here that could change the outcome, no?
I don't. I hope. Yeah, like even if it doesn't change the outcome, she still wants to do it to try to get some kind of closure in the situation. She will never, ever lie and say that Dom or Davey did it. She would never do that to them.
They did that the whole time in court.
Yeah, that was one of their excuses in court.
One of their fucking excuses the whole fucking time.
oh, Stephanie's in here.
I told you that.
Hi,
Okay,
Stephanie.
who's
Oh, I
Stephanie
didn't.
here?
Say that.
Oh, hi, Stephanie. Can you request to come up? Thanks so
I tried
much for coming.
I tried to get her on here and I couldn't.
I don't know how. Let me see if I can request. Oh, she did request.
Okay, perfect.
Stephanie is here.
Hi guys.
Hello.
I'm like girly.
What were you just listening to?
We're listening to her the third installment of them reacting to Natalie's interview with Chris Cuomo. So we were just listening to it while you came on, just to kind of pass the time. But thanks so much for coming. I feel
Of course.
I'm so nervous. Okay,
Why are you nervous?
Because I feel like you're a celebrity.
Oh my God, stop it. I'm a normal person. I'm just like you. I promise.
Anyways, so we've been trying to get you on here because really we've been going live very often, like almost like on a weekly basis, on going over like of course the case and everything. And specifically now that the Federal Habeas Corpus is filed, we're really kind of confused. And I know that you're obviously not here to give us legal advice or anything, but maybe you can like shed some light on like how it works, and have you ever done one? And
We just have a lot of questions.
yeah,
All
we
right.
do have a couple of questions that we wrote.
Oh my
like,
God, questions. Okay.
yeah,
All right,
because I know
ask
that you
away.
that you have limited time, so we don't want to waste your time.
Oh no. I can. I'm here until my sleeping meds kick in, and then I'm off. But you'll know when that happens because I'll start slurring my words. So
Stephanie, do you mind introducing yourself and like your background and like who you are? That way everyone in the chat knows.
yes, my name is Stephanie. Hello, I am a criminal defense attorney, but I also do matrimonial law now and family law in my new job. So if anybody's getting divorced or has family court issues, or if you need a criminal defense attorney, I am your girl. But I mainly do criminal defense work. So, and I followed obviously the Mackenzie case, and I think she deserves a new trial. So I would love for that, New York and New Jersey. But I would love to see her get that trial. And I think that, I don't know how the federal petition is going to go, but I would like to see it granted. I would hope that it gets granted.
I heard it could take like 3 to 5 years or something. Is that right? Or
Not 3 to 5 years, but it's going to take a minute. Like, it's not going to be it takes a little longer than the state level because it started out as a state case. So we're talking jurisdictional issues. We're talking, now the state gets a chance to reply, and then also the feds sort of get to weigh in a little bit on it as well. So it gets a little bit more complicated, and the federal court can deny hearing the petition. They can just say, we're not interested in this. Have a good day. God bless. So we're in that. We're there right now. We're waiting to see if the federal court is going to say, okay, this sounds interesting, or no, thank you.
So what is exactly the preliminary review? Because from what we understand, we're waiting for the state to respond. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So they get to file an objection, right, and say, nope, none of this happened. We think that the POTS thing obviously wouldn't have changed anything. We think that the moving from juvenile court to adult court was proper for the following reasons. And objecting to whatever else she put in the motion. I can't remember the rest of it off the top of my head right now. But and then the judge will look at both of those things. He'll review it. He or she will review it. And then they'll make a determination about whether or not it meets the standard for federal habeas review.
Okay. How typical is it for them for these to get to the preliminary review? Like, do a lot of them get dismissed before?
Yes.
This? Okay.
Yes. I would say 80% of them get dismissed, 20% get granted. So it's a very limited amount because every person who's ever been sent to prison files one of these. After you exhaust your appellate process, your state appellate process, this is the next step. So it's pretty much the last step. So once you've exhausted your state appellate process, you move on to the federal habeas petition. So every prisoner who wants out or thinks that they were wronged in some way, whether they're right or they're wrong, gets to this point. Some of them get granted, some of them don't, but it's more likely they don't than they do. But she has actual issues in her case.
That was going to be my next question: is how much weight? Like, what determines if they're going to take the case or throw it? Is it just their interest in it, or is it like the substance behind it?
It's a little bit of both. So it's kind of sort of like how like the Supreme Court takes cases where they're like, oh, this is an interesting issue, or this is an issue that we want to make a decision on, kind of a thing. So do they think that there's a valid argument? That's one way they could take it. Or do they think that this is interesting? So it's one or the other. More likely or more often than not, it's obviously, is there a valid issue here? Because why are they going to waste their time if there's not one? But sometimes they'll take a case if they find it to be interesting.
Yeah. What do you think is the strongest? I mean, I know you say you don't remember everything. I mean, I have the petition right here, but anything stands out to you as far as like what was the strongest thing that went wrong here, or what they're...
I really like the argument about it being sent from juvenile court to adult court. I think that was a really interesting argument. And I didn't even think about that when we were first all talking about this case. I didn't even think about the move from one to the other because she was in fact a juvenile. Now, there are certain cases or charges in which they can go, but there were mitigating factors here. And I think that those should have been taken into account and whether or not the jurisdiction was shifted. I do think that the evidence they're all decent arguments. There's not one that I think is stronger than the other because I think there were a lot of mistakes that happened. So I think that it just wasn't there. I don't know how to describe it other than to say that the trial was bullshit and that there was nothing fair about anything that went on.
Yeah.
And if you have any basis of legal knowledge, you would know that what you were witnessing was an injustice.
Right.
Yeah, we were reading the transcripts. We started reading it the other day, and just his opening statement was, we were like, what in the world? Like, I'm not an attorney or in the legal field at all, and I could not believe it. I felt like I was watching like a very bad legal movie or something.
It's not even like I think that he like was terrible. It's just that I think that he went about it the wrong way. Like sometimes there were issues in this case, and I think that he just addressed them in the wrong order and the wrong manner, and it didn't flow the way it needed to. But I also think the judge had her mind made up before, you know. So I think it was a losing battle before they even started.
Yeah. Oh, and also, I don't know if I already mentioned this, but if there's anything that you don't feel comfortable answering or cannot answer, like, feel free to like let us know, because we don't want you to like have.
Oh, girl, I have no problem saying what I think, so I will tell you if there is.
I do have a question. I know you said earlier it's like a half, and like if they're interested in it, and half if it has some legal substance. My question is, like, since Mackenzie's case is like while being talked about, like it's in the front of our faces, the Netflix documentary, like, does that help her case of being like more of a priority?
No, that actually hurts it a little bit because they don't want like the media attention on a decision that they're so avidly analyzing. They don't want there's a reason why the federal government doesn't allow cameras in the courtroom. And that's because they don't like the media paying attention to what they're doing. So the Netflix documentary actually hurts a little bit, and the attention hurts a little bit in this sort of scenario, in my opinion.
Yeah. Since you mentioned the bind over, that one of the things that they were talking about, the relief that they were looking for, was regarding the death certificate. Is it, first of all, why is that needing to me? Because from what I understand, they needed it to say murder as opposed to accident in order to bind it over. Did I understand that correctly or no?
Yes, that's correct. Because you can't have a murder charge without a murder designation, right? So, you know, if you don't have a designation of homicide, you can't prosecute a homicide. If it said unknown or suspicious, but if it says accident, it's an accident. And then there's nothing you really you could then do. They could have done like the criminally negligent, but they couldn't have gotten the murder charge. That's where the definition, or the not the definition, but the element of the crime comes in. So, you know, it comes down to the medical examiner at that point.
So the fact that they, and I don't know, so I'm sorry, Melly, did you have a question? Because I know you, I don't know.
Just when you mentioned the federal thing, like, is that, Stephanie, is that like a protocol where like the federal side gets involved, or is it because there was federal factors like a rug investigation going on along with this case?
It has nothing to do with the narcotics. It has nothing to do. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. So, the death certificate. So they're saying that the medical examiner who originally signed off on the death certificate signed off on it as accident. Then they had other medical examiners change it over to murder. And then I don't know if they had those same medical examiners testify in court, or they had another medical examiner testify in court. I think it was the one who changed it. But like, how does that really affect anything? Because I was listening to Christine's video today about the Federal Habeas Corpus, and she was saying that it's very normal for the supervisor to step in as the to testify. But as far as the petition says, it says that, you know, one, it was not changed correctly, and number two, the wrong medical examiner came to testify.
Okay, so when you are doing a death investigation, when it comes to any sort of accidental death or possible homicide, typically what happens is there's an initial sort of, I don't want to say diagnosis, that's the wrong word, but an initial sort of assessment. So, for instance, here, based on the evidence that they had, the initial assessment was accident. Mm-hmm. Based on the evidence they have, car, wall, speed, death, accident. Mm-hmm. Now, if we remember correctly, and I believe that I do, it took them a little bit of time, and by a little bit of time, I actually mean a decent amount of time, to investigate and come to a determination that they believed that this was something other than an accident, right? There were people that were saying, well, I think that she might have killed them. I think that she did this. I think that here's some evidence that she might have done this, which wasn't even on their radar initially. Mm-hmm. Because there was no reason to believe that it was anything other than an accident until people started whispering and saying, well, she had said this, and these are her text messages, and let's get her cell phone records, and all of these things. So when you're doing a manner and cause of death investigation, the medical examiner is given evidence from the case to evaluate and make that manner and cause determination. And typically, when it comes to a situation where there's where there might be a change from the initial, the supervisor does step in and come in, and like that's the head medical examiner, like the person that is like the medical examiner with a capital T, and they'll make the final determination. So they can change it legally from accident to homicide. They can do that. That happens all the time. But they did have independent people come in and look at the cases and look at the autopsies, which I believe is what they're talking about in the application, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me go down to it.
Jeff, you're right. The crash scene investigation wasn't done until it was a murder investigation. That's absolutely right.
Yeah, and she was out for 3 months too.
Yeah.
So you were right about the time length. Sorry to interrupt you, but yeah, absolutely. It took them like 3 months.
But I think the confusion comes in because they had it listed as an accident for so long and then changed it after 3 or 4 months of a period of time to homicide. And that's when we started getting, you know, the indictments, the charges, things like that, which sort of is suspicious in and of itself because it shouldn't take that long. And it shouldn't have been based off of people's just running around talking about really rumors and speculation, which is really what this whole case is based off of, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I think, because I haven't seen anything like concrete that is really substantial that would cause something like this. I mean, and again, I'm just like a regular person, so I don't know. But yeah, I do see here that it said that they were missing, they needed to go through a judge to get it changed. Is that normal or no?
I think it depends on the state.
Depends on the state, because it's apparently it said Ohio needed to go through a judge. Is that what you guys got from the petition, Rose and Melly?
I think so. I think that's what I read too. Is that it was?
If that's what it says, then that's I mean, they wouldn't put that in the petition if that's not the case. And if that's the case, then that's a huge mistake.
Yeah, it says that this ground for relief has been fully preserved and exhausted. What does that mean? Fully preserved and exhausted.
It means they've gone through all of the appellate processes of the state.
Oh, okay.
They've exhausted all the appellate procedures in the state.
Okay. It says the same, hold on. This is the third ground for relief. So when a state opts to act in a field where its action has significant discretionary elements, it must nonetheless act in accord with the dictates of the Constitution and in particular in accord with the Due Process Clause. Under Ohio law, the coroner's determination of manner of death is presumptively correct and would have been valuable evidence for the defense trial. Ohio has not only established this substantive legal significance to the determination of the manner of death to ensure the coroner's report maintains its integrity. Ohio's revised code, section 313.19, requires that the coroner's findings in this regard remain undisturbed absent judicial intervention.
Okay. So yeah, that's right. So that's exactly how you read it, is exactly how you said it before, is that in order to change it, they would have had to get a judge's order to change it.
Huh.
And they didn't do that.
It doesn't seem like they did.
Ooh.
I have another question. Right now, there is three things that her attorneys filed. One at the 8th District Court of Ohio, and I think that was for reopen an appeal?
Yeah, reopen the
and then the Ohio Supreme Court is the reconsideration, and then now the habeas corpus. What avenue is more than likely to happen or like be beneficial to her?
Okay. So the reconsideration petition is for reconsideration on what?
The appeal, right?
To reconsider the appeal.
Reconsider the appeal.
The one that was, I think, shut down because it was one day late.
Okay. And then the other one you said is what?
The application for to reopen the appeal that was denied because it was one day late. So he did
both.
both.
Okay.
Yeah, so she got three things filed through her attorneys right now. So it's kind of confusing.
Reconsideration. Reopening. That's a hard one.
Like, is that a normal thing to file multiple things on multiple different levels?
I would file for reconsideration I would at least file for reconsideration on the one day late one, because that's, to be honest with you, I would have filed an appeal on ineffective assistance of counsel on the appeal that was filed one day late after we got the decision that it was denied.
Mm-hmm.
I would have filed an effective assistance of counsel on those attorneys who filed it one day late.
Mm-hmm.
Because you then have grounds because the court said they didn't file it in a timely fashion. That is ineffective.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I would have gone with it, but maybe they need to exhaust the reconsideration motion. Maybe this is it. Because I would have to check with Ohio law, but it's possible they can't do that until they exhaust the reconsideration and the reopening motion.
Okay.
And then they can do the ineffective assistance of counsel motion, which is possibly what they're doing. And then they can say they exhausted all their options. Now they're filing the ineffective assistance of counsel.
That's
which
true.
would make sense.
That's probably why they did
So,
that.
I mean, is it possible for them to reopen or reconsider an appeal at this point? Or is it just something that her attorneys are doing just to...
Procedurally?
Yeah.
It is possible. It's unlikely because you're making the argument to the same judges that denied your motion. You're just saying you misinterpreted something that I said. This is really what I was saying. You just didn't hear me properly, basically. So they're usually denied. But I think I suspect it might be more of a procedural situation than it is a legal argument.
Okay.
If I had to guess.
Okay. Question. Another thing that Becky said today on the that I saw today. She said they will not review this federal habeas corpus unless there's new evidence. But I feel like that's misunderstood. I think the federal habeas corpus is to see what went wrong in the case, not to introduce new evidence per se.
So there can be habeas petitions for a number of reasons. There's numbers of arguments that you could do habeas petitions on, and one is obviously new evidence. But I do think that there is an argument to be made that the things in the habeas petition are are inclusive of new evidence, right? Like, I think, because, correct me if I'm wrong, was the POTS diagnosis brought up during the first trial?
It was
just through Natalie, right?
Natalie, just like, oh, he was just saying, oh, she has POTS, and she was like, yeah. Like,
but the documentation or any doctors or anything like that, no.
They didn't. Mm-mm.
So I would argue that that's new evidence, right? So I think that would fall under that category. I don't know if the death certificates, if that information was known at the time of the. I don't know if that was ever argued before. If that was never argued before, then that can be argued in the habeas petition. If it's and constitutional rights, a violation of anyone's constitutional rights can be argued in a habeas petition.
Yeah.
So I think her argument is valid. I think that it's a valid habeas petition. Whether it gets granted or not, who knows? But I don't think that it's a misuse of a habeas petition.
I see. Yeah, like, so if there was if any case needed a habeas petition, like, this is definitely one of them that really should be taking advantage of that process.
I think so. I think they should consider it. I don't know if they will or they won't, but I think that it's worth consideration at least. I would hope at least, because there's just it's just bullshit. But I think in general, I just think that there should be some type of federal review on this.
Yeah. The other thing is, so I'm not sure how detailed you've gotten into the case, but there's this whole thing where they're saying that she threatened to crash the car about a week or so before the actual crash, when the text messages from Dom show otherwise. It shows that he apologized several times. She was accusing him of grabbing the wheel. He never denied grabbing the wheel. He just denied saying that he wasn't trying to end her life. But he never denied that he grabbed the wheel. He never accused her of trying to crash the car. So I think that it's pretty clear that really should not have been been used as like a threat or to show that she threatened before. So
Prior bad act.
Yeah. So if for some reason, in your opinion, if they were to have to take that out, do you think that would change the case in any way?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, because they use that as like sort of like premeditation or some intent. Yeah.
That's the problem with this case, is that evidence got admitted that should not have been admitted. Right?
Yeah.
Like that should not, and the incident where they argued outside the car and the friend of the sister or whatever saw them arguing or heard them arguing on the side of the road, that should not. There are things that came in that should have not come in because they were not relevant to what happened that day. Okay?
Right.
Those are what we call prior bad acts. They're called under different case law in different states, but they're more prejudicial than they are probative to the facts of the case. So in my opinion, if she was to get a new trial, I would hope that it would be a jury trial. And if that was the scenario, I would hope that those prior acts would not be admitted, because I don't think I don't think they're relevant, and I don't think that they're based in any sort of evidence or facts. So you would need something more than someone just saying, I heard that this happened. You would need evidence of that. And they don't have that. So I don't think it would come in.
I just don't understand how this judge like allowed it.
So
What did the judge say, no, we can't, you can't put that in.
Well, it's not the judge's job to do that, though. It's her defense lawyer to do. It's his job to do that.
here's the thing. When you do a bench trial, things that shouldn't necessarily, and this is not really how it's supposed to go, but this is how it usually goes. Things that like you would normally object to as a defense attorney, sometimes you don't, because a judge is supposed to know the difference and be able to weigh what's important and what's not important, more so than a jury does. You're supposed to, when it's a bench trial, you typically worry less about that prejudicial value of evidence, because a judge is supposed to look at the evidence with an unbiased view, because they're a fucking judge. They're supposed to know that oh, well, this is coming from someone who just heard through the grapevine that this happened. I can't give any evidentiary value to that, right? Like, whereas a jury, they don't know what hearsay is. They don't know that doesn't carry evidentiary value, and they can't consider that. Whereas a judge is supposed to know the difference. So sure, you should object, preserve it for the record, but it's a little bit more lax in a bench trial, because a judge is supposed to know the law, and you're supposed to be able to rely on them to look at things impartially. So yes, should he have objected? Should he have tried to keep those things out? I'm sure he did in pretrial hearings and in motions in limine attempt to keep those things out. But when he got denied, he probably was like, well, it's a judge. The judge is going to know, and I'm not going to stomp my feet here, because the judge knows what's prejudicial. The judge knows what's hearsay, and that's that. But at the end of the day, this judge obviously did not understand the difference, because they gave him value. So we're sort of stuck here. But in front of a jury, that would be very important to stomp your feet on. That would be something that you would really fight on. And you would object to it coming in. You would object to it before the trial started. You would object to it in a motion in limine. And you would certainly object to it during questioning, even if it got allowed in. And you would make a huge deal about it during the trial, and you would make a big deal about it in your opening and your closing. But in front of a judge, you sort of just sit there, because you're supposed to trust that the judge knows what they're doing, when clearly this judge didn't. If that makes any sort of sense at all.
No, that makes sense. Posey had a question. I don't know if you can even answer this, but you know that Mom played a heavy hand in swaying her outcome.
But whatever, I'm just going to say it. I don't like how they comport themselves in general about this case. I think that, and I'm not here to say how people should handle their grief or anything like that, but I do think that there was a little bit of an influence in this case from families.
Yeah.
Well, my whole thing is, Hench, the one who testified in court about this incident 2 weeks prior, he was her previous client, and he was living in her basement.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he waited 3 months to come forward about that story.
Yeah.
So that's like a conflict of interest, right, Stephanie? Or does that not even
it's not technically a conflict of interest, because if it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. But it could have been heavily cross-examined on. Isn't it true that you live in the basement of the mother of one of the victims? Absolutely, you would go crazy on that.
Right.
And to be honest with you, there's this thing called, you ask for an offer of proof, which is before a witness testifies, where the other side, or whoever is offering the witness, has to give a factual basis as to why this person is testifying and what their relevance is to the trial. You would ask for that on this guy, and then you would argue with the judge about, well, they waited 3 months, and this is one of the mothers of the victim's tenant. They have a relationship. This was one of her clients. It's weird. We all of a sudden now are just coming forward with this. those are all arguments you would make or should have been made.
It never came up like in any of the police interviews prior. Like they never.
It's weird. It's weird. It's just weird and convenient.
Yeah.
Did you hear there was a police interview with Christine Russo and I personally do not like Detective Hazu. I feel like he's grimy, but the interview that they did, one of them at the end, she was talking about how she knew of Jimmy McDonald's, but she said before that, she's like, is anyone going to hear this? Is this going to be used as evidence? Like, if what she was about to say was not good or okay to say, why would she say
Right,
that?
it's weird. It's weird. And it's like she knows it's being recorded. So like it just the whole situation is just a little suspicious in my opinion. And no one should die in such a horrific way, right? I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that anyone deserved to die that way. It's horrible death. And I hope that they did not suffer. But and I don't care if they were selling narcotics. I don't care about any of that. That it is not relevant to the accident in any way, shape, or form. But what is relevant is that if you're going to attack Mackenzie's character from before the accident and be like, well, she drove like a crazy person and she did drugs and she did all of these terrible things. Well, then you have to then turn around and you have to you can't just then excuse everything else from everyone else as well. It just isn't. It's just not how this works.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna do a trial on this, if it's gonna come back and that comes in too. So the conversation has to come full circle. So I don't know. It just frustrates me in general.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like it's such a weird situation, and I do get a lot of like, I've been getting a lot of hate, and I get a lot of comments and DMs and all that stuff from people like just being completely nasty, because I just feel like, and I know that Rose gets it and Melly gets it, like, and all of us who like are just saying that she just deserves a new trial, get a lot of those types of comments. And I just feel like it's so weird that no one else, like a lot of people don't see the fact that it was unfair. Like this whole entire situation was weird, unfair. And I don't know why. Do you have any opinions about that?
Because it was such a horrible death, because it was such a horrible accident. And when there's such a horrible accident like that, people want someone to be responsible for it, and they want someone punished for it. And it will always be that way. But sometimes an accident is just an accident, and bad things happen, and it's sad that they happen. But in this case, in my opinion, after reviewing all of the evidence, this was an accident. It wasn't intentional. Was it a bad life choice? Sure. That resulted in the death of two people? Yes. Was it murder? No. But sometimes people just see something so horrific and they need to blame somebody for it, and they want to see somebody punished for it. And they cannot get past that. And and then they see someone like Mackenzie, and they see her social media, and they see like the kind of person that she was or is. And, they don't like a young, confident woman who is confident in her sexuality and her appearance and how her parents treated her. And, they don't like those things. And so she's an easy person to blame. And she was the driver of the car. And it spirals, because that's just how society works.
Yeah. And I think really the sister, Christine Russo, is like really helping this narrative along with like the way they talk about her. Because I'm going to post something about that too. The words that they use is like, oh, she's disgusting. She's vile. She's a slut. She's a monster. She's this, she's that. And every time she talks about the Shirillas, like that's the kind of like words that she's spreading out there, and people just like are soaking that all in. And I feel like it's like that's all they hear in their head, and it's like automatically she's guilty.
I don't know how you could possibly, like, what is so vile about her? Like, what is, like, I don't know how. I have yet to see something about this girl that is so horrific and vile that it deserves this campaign of hate. Like, I can't, I just don't, I don't see it. I have not seen it. If someone can point me to something that demonstrates that, that'd be great. I have not. I can't. Like, you're mad she has someone post on her Instagram from prison. Okay, cool. Everybody has someone that posts from prison. There are people that are dating people on JPay. Like, calm down.
Well, like what I see a lot is like you said earlier, and you said the bad character stuff, like a lot of people go based off of the text. Like as far as my content, like I see that all the time. It's like, oh, well, she's nasty in the text. And it's like, well, okay. But like you said, Stephanie, it doesn't make it intentional. Right. Like, and the calls too. And it's like that they're convicting her that she's a bad person off of that information. And it's like, well, no, there's actually things in the trial that were wrong.
Like, there is no questioning to me that Dom and her were toxic as fuck to each other. Okay. They were horrible to each other. Okay. They really were. They were freaking terrible to each other. Okay. Eventually one of them would have killed the other one. All right. Like, end of story, like a Romeo and Juliet type of situation going on. All right. But was this a murder suicide? Like, you want me to believe that a girl who took 1,000 selfies of herself, 1 million Snapchats of herself, driving and was going to drive into a wall and kill herself?
Right. Right.
There's just no way.
I'm sorry. I think the fuck not.
I agree.
Yeah, she was too. And also, according to her text messages from that incident a couple weeks before, she was very scared of, first of all, she was a brand new driver. Number one, she had only been driving for a year. And number two, she was even scared of driving in the rain. So like for someone to be like nervous about driving, I mean, I feel like all teens speed. We've all been speeding at one time. But to drive into a building, I just don't see that happening.
I speed still. Girl, please. I live on Long Island. 495. If you're not going 95 miles per hour or more on there, you are getting slammed in by a Mack truck.
Yeah, New York drivers are crazy. My uncle, we're from New York originally, and every time my uncle, he was like the last one to live here, and anytime I get in the car with him, I'm like bracing.
Yeah, we will drive off a bridge if it means avoiding traffic. Okay, like I don't even want to.
Yeah.
So something that I noticed, sorry, Kaleena, something that I noticed about her attorney, is that he did not bring in his own experts. Yes. And the EDR data, that's what everybody goes off of. Well, she was going 100 miles per hour or whatnot, or 100% on the pedal. But when I read the files and the investigation, it says the EDR data is translated and it says likely this, likely that. Do you think that like there could have been an alternate to that? Like he could have found an expert to debunk whatever the prosecution's expert is saying?
Yes, there's always someone that you can pay to say the opposite of what the other expert is saying.
So is it normal that he didn't bring in his own experts and that he just relied on?
No, they absolutely should have had their own expert that testified to the opposite of what they were saying. Because I remember when because we did the EDR data on I think we went over it on YouTube. And she wasn't at 100% when she hit the wall. She was like at 80% when she hit the wall. Or 70, Sidewalk said. And she, the wheel was turned 2 seconds before 170 degrees to the right. Like and none of that was stuff that was ever brought out because if you had an expert that testified to that, and you had an expert that said those things, you could have made the argument that she was trying to make a right-hand turn and the car jumped and it got away from her. You could have made 10,000 different types of argument as to why the car slammed into a wall. And that just wasn't done. It just wasn't done. And there needed to be an expert there. And I think if it is to come back and go in front of a jury and you had an expert testify to something like that, you get a little bit of reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
Right. And then also, this girl is facing multiple, if I'm not mistaken, I think like 15 felonies. It was 18 at first and they dropped some. But I think it was like 14, 15 felonies. And the witness list is 3 people.
So sometimes, like, on cases like this, the defense doesn't really need to call many witnesses, but I would have personally, there would have been an expert on my list. There absolutely would have been an expert on my list to interpret the data in a way that I thought made more sense than whatever the prosecution's theory of the case is. Even if it was only one witness, even if I only called one witness, it would have been an expert. There would have been an expert on my list.
Yeah, and he didn't have. I mean, it was Natalie, the grocer girl, and then who else? Some other person.
And maybe her aunt, or I'm not sure who the third person was. But it wasn't even the people who were with her that morning. They weren't even called to be a witness. Like, that's wild to me.
It would have, I think, again, I think for the purposes of the bench trial, I think it was like more of like a condensed sort of situation because, again, the judge doesn't need like all of the extra stuff. But I think that was a mistake.
Nova, Stephanie is an attorney, a defense attorney that we are picking her brain. I wanted to just address one thing, and I know Melly, I think you have a question, but there was someone who, and I don't know if they're still in here, but they were saying like, why is 100% pedal considered an accident? And my thing is, what I've been trying to explain, and I'm probably not doing a great job on my TikToks, but like people who get in it, who have a medical emergency, it can look just like this, just the way it happened, all 100% pedal to the floor, showing on the EDR, just like that, just like the way it is here. So I'm wondering, and I mean, I don't know if that makes sense to you, Stephanie, or if you think that that's true or not true, you can let me know. But like, I feel like if they had talked more about how it compares to other car accidents that are actual medical emergency car accidents, like it would have made a difference in the narrative.
I think you're 100% right. And I think that the fact that that's even a theory is enough for reasonable doubt. The fact that we don't know what happened in the car the 6 seconds before it hit the wall is the definition of what reasonable doubt is. And the fact that that people have discussions and arguments over what happened, you're 100% right. If it was a medical emergency, that's reasonable doubt that she murdered someone. If someone grabbed the steering wheel, that's reasonable doubt. If she fell asleep at the wheel, that's reasonable doubt. Like, there's so many things that could have happened in that car. Medical emergency and her foot depressing on the pedal. We don't know if that happened or not. We have no way to know whether that happened or not because we weren't in the car. No one else is alive that was in that car. Because we don't know, I don't know how we get to murder.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Have you ever had like a car accident case yourself, or been like seen maybe one of your colleagues have a car accident case?
Yeah, we've had a couple of these.
And,
I'm trying to think of. We had one that was actually it was a big media case. There was a case, you might have heard of it. There was a murder in like this like really nice little town, and it was a MS-13 murder. and this 14 or 15-year-old girl was killed, and it was in front of this house. And on the anniversary of her death every year, her parents would put up a little shrine on the front of the house. And not a little shrine. It was a huge fucking shrine, like huge. Okay. And so it was the anniversary of her death, and the old couple that owned the house was selling the house, and they were showing the house that day. So the daughter went over to the house and no one was there. So she took the signs and she put them in the back of her car. And the mom and the dad of the daughter saw that she had taken the signs, and they went up to her car and they started banging on the car windows and cursing at the driver. And fuck you, give me the signs back, you stole our shit, you fucking bitch, whatever. And they would not, so she tried to get away from the people that were banging on her car window. And in the process of trying to get away, the woman got dragged under her car, went under the tire, and her head popped, basically, and died. Okay? So, there's video of this, by the way. It's fucking her, because at the same time this is happening, there is a news reporter there videotaping the whole thing because they were doing a special on the anniversary. Okay? So now, is this an accident or is this murder? The DA's office charged her with murder. Okay? We represented her and we were like, that's not murder. She was trying to get away from these people that were fucking attacking her car. Okay? And they were like, they were screaming at her, they were beating her car. She was trying to get away. Like, the woman stepped in front of the car, she got pulled under. Mm-hmm. And that's what the video actually shows, is she steps in front of the car as she's pulling away and she gets pulled under. That's what the video shows. So it ends in a conviction before we have the case. It gets overturned. We get the case and it ends on a hung jury. Mm. And we're trying to figure out what to do again. But when we retry it, the argument hangs on whether or not there's that intent there, right? Which is the same similarly here, is, was there intent to harm somebody? Was there an intent to harm somebody with the vehicle? Did she intend to drive into a wall and harm Dom and Davion? Did our client intend to drive over somebody and kill them? The answer to both of those questions is absolutely not. I don't believe so. In either of those situations, did anybody intend to hurt or harm anyone? But it's up to whether or not a jury believes that it's true or not. Yeah. It's a hard argument to make.
If she does end up getting this approved, I know it's either do they have a choice? Like, from what I've...
Yes, she can get a jury trial.
You get a jury trial. Or can they
fully exonerate her?
Yeah, that's my question. Can they fully exonerate her?
That's where I was going to ask too, because it's like, if they do that, it means I think I read that she would be in for life or whatever, but if they go jury trial and find her guilty, but right now it's 15 to life. So it's like, yeah, is that even possible? Like, I don't know if that makes sense what I'm asking.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just trying to think if I don't think, based on the relief they asked for, a dismissal is one of the remedies.
I see.
I'm trying to think of...
So would it be just like modifying the sentence, or like, or what would that result like kind of look like then?
So, like, hypothetically, if, for instance, the Federal Habeas Corpus says you guys erred in moving it to adult court. This sentence would have to change because the
Okay.
crimes no longer exist that she's sentenced to, because there is no murder in the lower court, in the juvenile court. And then they would have to renegotiate. And essentially, I think the sentence also, I think she would essentially get time served at that point.
Mhm.
Okay. If, for instance, they say the from juvenile to adult court was okay, but the pot stuff should have come in, the other evidence shouldn't have come in, this, that, and the third. We remand it back to district court, the district state court for a new trial. The state then has the option to either just be like, okay, we don't feel like trying this again. Would you take 10 years and a plea of guilty? Would you take time served and a plea of guilty? Or they could just say, fuck it, let's do a trial and see where it lays.
Not take guilty in any case, because that's just messed up.
If her options are plead guilty and get time served and get out,
I guess fine.
So kind of like what happened to Courtney Clenny today.
yes, essentially, yes.
I covered that today, and it's like she decided to take the plea deal because she was looking at 21 years or 6 years.
Yeah, and she gets out in like a year.
And 2 now, and
Yeah,
a
2.
year and a half, technically. Well, with good time, probably less than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think with good time, she's out in a year.
So if she gets a new trial, would interviews that we have access to and stuff like that, could that be brought into a new trial, or is that
Yes.
like
Okay.
so like so if someone decided, if someone who did an interview said one thing in their interview and then now they want to take the stand and say something different, that interview could then come into play and be like, well, you didn't say it on this day and
Yes.
this time. Okay.
Yes, prior inconsistent statement.
Okay. And another thing that they were saying is how about her jail phone calls, like after post conviction and all that stuff?
Yes.
They can go into trial.
I don't think that she said anything too crazy though. Like, I think she's been pretty smart about what she said on the calls. And even if she says like, I killed them, like she did, like that's not in contention. Whether or not she killed them is not. Whether or not she premeditated it is. And I don't think I haven't heard anything on a jail call where she said, I planned it and
No. But there are inmates that are saying she confessed to them. How would that play out?
That's a good question. I think, well, the DA would have to interview them. Obviously, the DA prosecuting the case would have to interview them and weigh their credibility. I mean, like, we've had several of them on TikTok already that have been like, well, she said
Right.
this and I knew her. And people have already like discovered how much of a liar those people are. Right. So you would have to take that into account. And I think the DA would be smart enough to be like, well, they did this. And then like the cross-examination, how much did you make like from that one video? Like there's lots of things you could say to discredit them.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like, like that one girl who dated her for like a week and then the other one who like never even met her. And they're talking about her and talking about her character. It just doesn't make any sense.
Because she wears makeup, Kaleena.
And sorry, I'm holding this here because it's hard. Like my shirt is hard for people to see the comments. So I'm sorry if I look weird. Let me see. So what was the other question that I have? Oh yeah, we were talking about, so from my research, it said that sometimes if things have to get thrown out through the Federal Habeas Corpus, the state may find that they cannot actually
Prosecute.
prosecute
Yep.
anymore. So
Yep.
is that
That could possibly happen. It depends on what they throw out.
mm-hmm.
It depends on what they throw out. If they throw out like, well, I don't know what in this case what they could throw out that would make it impossible.
Well,
But
I think that threat, like, I just don't understand how it could move forward. I mean, if they twist the words, I guess fine, they can put it in. It's going to be one word against another person's word.
yeah, that's true. I guess that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have the car data, right? And the acceleration and the deceleration.
mhm.
And, although that's circumstantial, I mean, it's not really circumstantial, but they would infer that it is. But you know how, prosecutors are. They make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
Right.
And again, it really, I mean, it only gives one part. It doesn't say exactly what was going on in the car anyway.
Nope, it doesn't. And that's why you would need a good attorney to make that argument, because you want to make sure that regardless of what they put in, you're putting in your version of the events in the best way you possibly can.
Yeah.
Would you put Mackenzie on the stand? Considering she can't remember the accident, I mean, you would think that any prosecuting attorney that would question her about the accident, she would just say, I don't remember. I don't have knowledge. I blacked out. Would that be a smart thing to do? Put her on the stand? Or
no, because she is sassy and cross-examination would not go well in any way, shape, or form for her. She would not perform well.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if she did not say something stupid on cross-examination.
Right.
I'd probably do it too, because I mean, I really hate some people. But let me see.
I do have one other question back to Hench and his testimony. How I said he gave his interview 3 months later, and then a couple days later, that's when they bring charges against her. In your experience, did they need that one last testimony to even bring the charges? It just seems weird to me that he finally gives an interview after 3 months of silence, and then just days later they bring these charges. So I don't know, for me, and I don't have, that knowledge, but to me, it almost seems like they didn't really have a case until he did his interview and said what he said.
I don't think they were waiting specifically on him because of all the other things that they had, like the car data, the phones, the text messages, like her text messages, her medical records. Like those things take time to get and organize. So I think that was just like the last puzzle piece, maybe, or like a part of the bigger puzzle. But I don't think they were like waiting on that specifically.
Rose, remember that you had told me something about that he had his own, I guess, court case and stuff, and apparently he didn't show up for his court. They put some type of warrant out for him because he didn't show. And as from what you said, that there was someone who called that something that they're not credible because they have that type of a warrant.
Caprice, or I don't know if I'm saying it right. It starts with a C, but it's like when you get bailed out and then you keep missing your appearance dates, and then they put a warrant out for you.
Like a failure to show?
No, it starts with a C. Shoot, I can't remember. Someone said it in here a little bit ago, I think. Oh, Caprice? Caprice?
Happiest?
I have never heard that word in my entire life.
He said it was a Capias warrant or something. Let me Google that. Hold on. Capias. Maybe that's just a different name for it.
We won't call it something different here.
Warrant. Oh, it's a bench warrant.
Oh yeah, we call it bench warrant.
Okay. Yeah. So if someone has that, does that mean that they're not credible, or no? That doesn't make a difference.
So I would make the argument that like if someone has like because like on someone's criminal history, right? There'll be like a list of your prior misdemeanors, your prior felonies, your prior warrants, whether they're arrest warrants or bench warrants, and things of that nature. You could always make the argument that having a bench warrant or an arrest warrant is a failure to abide by a court directive, which would make you less credible or less reliable. I don't think I personally would make that argument. But it's something to throw at the wall if you have, I mean, nothing else, but the fact that he has charges, you would use that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would do. I would make, if he's been convicted of a crime, you use that, obviously, instead of the warrant. Or, then you ask, well, have you, during the course of your time while you were litigating the case, did you ever warrant out? Yeah. You can ask that. And let the jury make a determination on his credibility based on that.
Yeah. Do you think that if she does get a new trial, they'll have to relocate her trial? And can they relocate it even out of state, or is that not a thing?
They can't relocate it out of state. They can move it to a different county.
Different county. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think that's a smart thing to do, right? Given that one of the victim's moms is like.
Yes, I would do a change of venue.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I would absolutely do that.
I feel like that was like all my questions. I don't know if anyone else in the chat had questions or had a question that came up after we talked about all this stuff, but
Mally, you got anything?
Is it possible that people that were, I mean, I guess it's still the same case, but since it's moving in different directions, like all the people that were involved and did give those interrogations and interviews, would they have the option to not participate, or is it like they have to because they already did in the first one, and then you could get subpoenaed or whatever, a judge can order you to, like if one of them was like, no, I don't want to go and do that again.
It depends. The DA might not call everybody that they called the first trial. Right?
Okay.
Like, think about like the Karen Reed second trial. Like, the prosecution didn't call 2/3 of the witnesses that they called the first time around. They don't have to always, but like if they want them there, the DA will get them there. They'll do a material witness warrant. They'll have their DIs go out and pick them up. But like if the prosecution wants you there, they will get you there.
Okay.
They will force you to testify.
Okay.
They don't really have it, which sort of is annoying, but.
Yeah. I think I read, there was one more thing. What would, and I don't know if we already went over this, but what would this is like the best case scenario, what would the judge need to completely drop the case?
Oh, Jesus. I would, they could do it for a couple of reasons. A major Brady violation, maybe, by the district attorney's office. That could do it.
What is that, a Brady violation?
That would be them withholding exculpatory evidence. That would be a Brady.
Kind of did with that, because they never brought up the pots, like as far as like the prosecution, they got the information, the investigator got the information, but he never
investigated it.
Right, but the defense knew of that information already. It would have to be something unknown to the defense. Like, for instance, it would have to be like, we had a reanalysis of the car data. Like, let's hypothetically, we reanalyzed the car data, and it showed that she tried to make a right-hand turn, and that she didn't intentionally drive into the wall. And they hid that from the defense.
How about this? And this is something that I did have make a video about, the blood work. So I don't know if you know exactly what happened. I know Chris Cuomo talks about how they botched the blood work, but the blood work they took in the life flight, they were supposed to test that blood. It wasn't a regular standard medical tube, like a pink top tube, did not have any preservatives. They were supposed to test that blood on that day. They never did. They actually canceled it that night. And then they just never did anything with the blood, and then they sent it to be discarded. Well, it ended up going to the blood bank to be discarded. In order for it to have keep its integrity, it needed to have preservatives. It needed to be stored correctly, no light, all that stuff. I couldn't find anywhere where the chain of custody is for that blood work. They ended up testing it, and on my research, they tested it 19 days later after it was taken, not knowing how it was stored. From what I understand, THC could have been degraded by then, very, very degraded, like the levels. If there was any kind of hallucinogens or acid or LSD or whatever that could have been even found, that would have been gone already by that time if it wasn't stored correctly. So like, I couldn't find anything regarding that blood work. And I did send this over to the representative for the Shirillas to look at it. So I didn't know if that is something worth looking into, because I feel like the prosecution knows, or the state knows, like what happened to that blood, and they didn't release that information to the defense.
The defense probably has it in the paperwork from the blood bank. They probably have the chain of custody documents. We just don't have them, if I had to guess.
So it would not be in the FOIA, or it would have been.
Do we have the FOIA from them?
Not in there. We have pretty much almost everything.
That's interesting.
Because I feel like that's a problem. Like, don't you like? Wouldn't that be?
Well, there should be some type of chain of custody of how it got to the blood bank. Do you have that?
I can't find it anywhere.
I mean, they should have that. It should exist somewhere.
Yeah, they need to probably try to request it or something.
If they don't have it, then they can't really. I mean, they have to show that the blood was properly taken care of before they tested it.
Yeah.
So, or else they can't admit it. But that could be challenged during the trial. I would think.
I think
But
I want to go to law school.
We should. We should. We need more good lawyers.
I wish I could go to law school without having to get my bachelor's. Can I do what Kim Kardashian's doing?
You live in California?
No, I live in Florida.
But absolutely not. Florida does not play about its bar exam. I'm sorry, I'm eating.
It's okay.
I got home very late from work, so I'm hungry.
We're going to have to go to school for 4 years and then go to school for 3 years. And I can barely go to school for 1 year because I have ADHD.
Do the online shit. And then do it in 2 years. You could do the 4 years in 2 years. And then go to law school.
Maybe.
You can do it. I believe in you.
50 years old attorney.
Oh, please. If I could do it, you could do it. If I can get into law school, you could get into law school. Trust me.
Well, thanks.
All right, ladies. I'm going to go.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Yeah, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course,
for being
anytime.
here.
Let me know when you want me back on. I'll come back.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, have a good night, ladies.
You
Good
too.
night. Bye.
Bye.
That was good.
Really good.
Yes,
I
it's
feel like we
nice
got a
to hear
lot
from
of-
someone that's like in that profession, you know?
Yeah, that knows what they're talking about.
That's like what we needed. We should have her on again.
Instead
Yeah.
of Chat GPT.
I know. Hey, Chat has been. I'm not. Listen. Don't listen.
Chat is my
Don't
Chat is
listen
my
to him.
homeboy. He is my homeboy, but it's nice to hear from an actual attorney.
It said Roxy said you're an ICU attorney. I mean ICU attorney, an ICU nurse. You said you had a question? Can we talk about the Christine? Yes, we are going to talk about the Christine thing. A nurse with perspective. Okay, I mean I can bring you up for a few minutes. Okay, hold on.
I'm gonna pause my screen real quick.
Okay. And then Melly will continue talking here. Let's see what Roxy has to say.
Hi, thank you so much for taking me. So, I've been a critical care RN for 10 years in every ICU specialty except for neonatal pediatrics. So when I watch these law cases, I noticed something that is very completely different from public opinion, and I just joined this live, so it seems like you guys are interested in becoming attorneys, or regardless, it sounds like you guys are interested in court cases, right? Now, what are your thoughts on this? And I think this is a really good question to discuss and to think about. Now, for example, like in the KALEENAXO case or even in the Shirilla case, when the prosecutors or when the defense attorney are asking medical professionals questions about their medical practice, the answers that the medical professionals can give are really yes or no questions. They can't elaborate, and they really can't go into detail to give a full accurate description as it relates to the case and to the patient or to the defendant in the case. So what I notice is that oftentimes what the jury receives is kind of like a partial truth in terms of what the medical standard is. And I want to know what your opinion is on having, like these cases, for example, Mackenzie Shirilla or Lindsay Clancy, where it really requires a lot of medical knowledge. It's very medically based in determining, innocent or guilty. And how do you feel about having a jury of your peers who, may or may not have any medical background knowledge, and what they're learning about the medicine regarding that case is just how the prosecutor wants to present it or how the defense attorney might want to present it. And it really just isn't so accurate, like I sometimes feel like in cases where it's very medically like heavy and dependent when determining if the person is innocent or guilty, I almost wish there were healthcare professionals trained in the field to be able to determine if that person is innocent or guilty. Now, I hope I explained that clearly. I never actually verbalized this before, but it's been on my mind. And like they're saying like, oh, these psychiatrists, like they're terrible, they should lose their license. But honestly, the way they're answering is absolutely appropriate. I think they're great with what they're doing. It's just that the way the lawyers, which they're putting on an act, it's very skewed. And what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like that's really interesting, because I think that the point of, I guess, the jury, they hopefully have people from all walks of life that may have had some kind of experience in there. I think the purpose of bringing expert witnesses is supposed to help that situation, like for both of them, both for the defense and the prosecution, to both bring up expert witnesses, like so someone in the medical field to like show those things. But that is pretty interesting. Like it would be good to have like some type of medical professional there. I just don't know how that would, like how that they would be able to do that.
Well, because for example, like I mean, just take like any case, it's just like for a jury to make a good decision, like the defense and the prosecutor isn't, they're only giving such they're not allowing the expert witnesses sometimes to fully give, like, for example, like in the Clancy case, they're like, so you didn't check the blood levels for Zoloft, or like you didn't ask, or like you didn't check this or that. And it's like, okay, so it obviously makes it seem like that doctor was incompetent because that doctor didn't do something. And all she can say is yes or no, I did not do that. But in reality, that's not the standard. You don't do stuff like that. You don't check Zoloft levels. I've never heard of anything like that. Medications like lithium, you would. Lamotrigine, you would. You know, so it's just, how would that work? I mean, ideally it would work if lawyers, they really, it is like putting on like a show kind of. You have to just kind of get what you want the jury to think, but it just may not be medically accurate what it is that they have learned through the trial.
Yeah, but I think the reason why it doesn't work that way necessarily is they don't need to have all the they don't need to know everything about the medical or what goes on in that time. There should be just, I think the point is that they only need to, it's like on the need to know basis. They're only gonna tell them what they need to know, and that's
right.
it.
And that's what, and I agree with you. Like, we don't expect them to know about all the systems, but I still feel like a lot of times these cases, it ultimately, like even with the expert witnesses that come in, that are medical professionals, the jury still only gets like maybe one perspective that still may not be accurate. For example, one doctor's opinion or explanation on something may be completely different from another's. And whoever, they chose, they could try and explain certain things in a way that could help the defense or help the prosecutor, but may not truly be reflective of how the medical professional field works as a whole and what would be the standard. So they can make it sound like this is not right, or this is how it should have been done in this case. But I mean, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like even from the cases that I have seen, and I do like to watch cases live and stuff, I've noticed that even medical professionals will kind of explain things in a certain way to kind of help the defense, help the prosecution, and it still may not be like fully accurate, like the reality of the situation. For example, like
well, I'm hold on a second. So I think we're gonna move on because we're really specifically talking about Mackenzie's case, and we're actually going to be reviewing one of the videos of the that they have posted, Christine Russo. I think you have really good points, and I do think that that's something
just some food for thought, and just something that, because you guys are interested in this stuff, so next time you watch these trials, just see if you notice that, and
sure. I do agree.
You can always, I mean, I don't know if you can, but you can always reach out to me and ask like what my opinion is on if it was like explained accurately or not, and I could just give you my perspective. And it could just maybe, especially if you're interested in becoming a lawyer, I would love to become a lawyer. Actually, I've been thinking about it. I have so much experience in the healthcare field, I was thinking about doing that. So, but yeah, just some food for thought. And I thought it was just a really interesting perspective to think about.
I appreciate it. I think we think it's definitely a very good point. But yeah, we're gonna review some other videos here. But thank you so much, Roxy, for coming up.
Thanks for taking me.
No problem.
Bye. Good night.
Let's see. So let's I don't know how to. Okay. Yeah, so sorry. Thanks again, Roxy. Melly, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So I just didn't know because I know
No, I was just listening.
okay. Are we gonna so what do you guys think? Like, let's just debrief on Stephanie, what she said. So
A lot of insight for sure. A lot of things that she cleared up that I wasn't completely sure about.
yeah.
And
This
basically she said like the case can't be thrown out, right? Like I understood her right, but it could be like a modified sentence.
she said it could be depending, like
It would have to be something big, I think, is what
Yeah.
she said. Like certain things to get thrown out.
Yeah, something major, but generally it's probably just going to be like a new trial.
Which I genuinely, and because I want to see Mackenzie out, but I genuinely want a retrial just for the fact of all the truth coming out. Because I feel like if Mackenzie does get exonerated or take some kind of plea deal or something, all the truth won't be brought out. And I want people to know the truth. Like, so I want to see a new trial.
That's the same. That's why I was like, I hope she doesn't take a guilt. But the thing is, that's very attempting, you know, like, okay, you can get guilty, time served. Like,
listen, I think they need to get their own EDR data specialist, because I'm telling you, what I seen was the wording was likely this, likely that. That's not 100%.
No,
but like, could it be worse? Like, because you know how people are like, yeah, she could have a new trial, but now she's going to go to prison for life.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think you have to.
I mean, I think the sentence, like if she was found guilty, I think the sentence could be worse. I don't think that's the way the trial's going to go. Honestly, I just don't. I just don't think that's the way the trial's going to go.
What I've researched is that they have to have good reason to give her more sentencing. They have to have a really good reason. So I don't think, I mean, with things that get taken out, which I'm sure they will, I don't know if there's any phone calls that really make anything worse for Mackenzie. I really don't. Everything that they're saying that is worse or that is bad, it's the Christine Russo's interpretation of her twisting words, and it really doesn't even say what she's saying it is. So do you guys want to go over what do you want to do? The Cuomo interview or them going over the Federal Habeas? I feel we should go over the Cuomo interview.
Yeah, I think so too.
You email Natalie, right?
You
have contact with Natalie?
Shirillas. The representative for the Shirillas.
Yeah, it's like their rep.
Wait, what?
I emailed the representative of the
the representative. Okay. Maybe that's something you could find out if the reason they didn't get their own expert is because of money, or if it was because that was what Jim McDonald's Donald told them, like, no, we don't need one. I feel like I want to know that, because if Jim McDonald was like, no, we don't need one, that's not necessary, like, I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. He probably said they don't need it because it seemed like he was very, very, very like confident that they didn't need anything because there was no evidence, which there is no evidence, but he was mistaken. you know.
I'm reading through the transcripts right now, and I swear that I feel like a lot is gonna come out once I start reading these transcripts.
Yeah. All right, so let's go over the I'm gonna do the part 2 because we did part 1 on live. Let's do part 2 on live. That was last week's.
We'll keep going.
And this
From
is the
the
one
one-
where Christine is very like
Welcome
going
back, everybody.
in.
Christine here, the big sister unhinged, and
Do you guys
joining
hear
me
it?
tonight is my co-host,
Yes.
Beck Love, aka Becky Buck Wild.
The most awkward lady on the internet.
What? You know what? We could W that actually.
I am the most awkward lady on the internet.
I'm gonna speed it up just a little
We
bit.
could W that. I'm not gonna lie.
You want to
Yeah.
get into the other half of that Cuomo interview tonight?
Yeah. Do you want to pull it up on yours, or you want me to remember where we left off?
Yep, I can pull it up on mine. We're about 30 minutes in, so
Okay. I had dental work done today again. Oh my god. And I
you do not do well with dentists. You know that?
And they prescribed me a strong Valium prior to. And this time I just forgot it, and I was like, it can't be that bad because I got my first root canal. I never had a cavity in my life, so I had to get a root canal. And then they were just putting like the cap on. Well, that went south or something, and it took forever. They're stretching my poor mouth out. I have a small mouth, you know. And
A small
I
mouth.
don't know. They were drilling, and it was terrible. They gave me shots again, so half of my face was
You have a
drooping.
big mouth.
Just stopped.
Oh,
Yeah.
A big ugly
yeah, that
mouth.
sounds terrible.
No. Let me not.
Vile.
I hate
Vile
it.
mouth.
Not gonna-
Well, you have to, but okay. Just, adulting. That's all it is. All right, so let me go ahead and bring this up, and then we can just get right back into it. But I will tell you, what we've seen so far is as far as I've watched, because that's where I got fed up with watching it. So I'm glad we took a break to watch the rest, because I would never have been able to sit through this all at once.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So, all right, let's go ahead and bring this up.
Posey.
Exculpatory, but not on that level necessarily. That was what you would have done. What your team would have done is argued all the THC in her system.
She
that
does get
maybe
her
it was
lips
that.
done.
She doesn't remember. It's a very bad fact for your daughter in this situation, because even when you say something like there were 3
There
people
was so
at
much
that party.
THC. Hold on, there was so much THC built up in her system, because she smoked, I don't know, 5 blunts a day or something like that. So,
So did your brother.
they took tests that they checked the levels of THC. So there's different.
She doesn't know what
levels,
she's
and
saying
you
right
can
now.
tell whether somebody is incapacitated at the time.
No.
And she was not. So
No.
the levels indicated that she was not even high at the time.
So no, you cannot tell if someone's intoxicated by their levels. There's a legal limit, and if you're over that, you're over that. Really, it depends on your from the research that I've done, ChatGPT and Google, it has said that depend, and I've read some studies as well. So it depends on your your, what is it called?
Tolerance?
Your tolerance. But even if you are a habitual smoker, from the study that I read, it still affects you. THC will still affect you. But her levels of THC was even on that messed up blood test, it was over the limit of an OBI. Tolerance, yes, that's the word. They go by levels, and they can tell if you've smoked basically within the last 24 hours. Yes, they can tell, but it doesn't make, you can't tell if someone is affected or not by the levels alone. From what I read. They hate Cuomo now because he's talking about Mackenzie's case, and not in a bad way, yeah.
They hate everyone who talks about the case, not in a bad way.
Lean. What did Christine say? Okay. Let me press play. So yeah, she's just literally wanting to say that she wasn't intoxicated. We don't know that. The blood work was messed up, and we don't know what her tolerance was. As a matter of fact, she had been not smoking as much at that time, as far as what I understood, right, ladies? I don't know if you guys...
Well, that's what Landon and them were saying, that she was on a smoke break.
She took smoke breaks quite a few times, to be honest. Throughout the text messages, you hear her say that. Like, not smoking today because, you know, she wasn't feeling good. And then, yeah, Landon, I think, was the one who said that she was having like coffee, she was coughing up stuff, and that's why she wasn't smoking that night that much or at all.
Yeah. Nicole, and Sidewalks. He's my man.
Are you guys fighting over Cuomo?
Oh, I love him too.
Oh
That
my
is funny.
God.
We can all
And you
fight
guys
over him.
need to step aside. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
From the lawyer standpoint, he's just lawyering. He's doing what lawyers do and trying to find any excuse. But I just find it funny that the one excuse he leans on all the time is not the excuse that was used in court. It's not the excuse that was put in any appeal. It's not even the excuse that's being put to the habeas corpus filing. It has nothing to do with it.
And it's not going to work.
No.
So that's the thing.
Anything could have happened. Yeah, but only one of them survived, and she's the only one that would know. And I'm sympathetic to your and your husband's point that, hey, if anybody wanted to just make up a story and get out of this, she would have done that already. So she must actually not know what happened.
Well, that, and I've said this from the beginning, that as soon as they have a story that they want to go with, then that can be picked apart. If they maintain that she doesn't remember, then they can throw any excuse at the wall and call it reasonable.
I think they had a good shot with saying she didn't remember. That was the best bet, because exactly, if they put out a story in the beginning, and like I said, they lied to us for 4 days and said that she was unconscious while they corroborated their story. Probably.
Why do they keep saying that?
I get where you're going with that, because it's what I think too, is that's why they never had a solid answer. They had to go with, I don't remember, because it's the only thing that opens it up to say it could have been this, it could have been this, it could have been this, it could have been a billion things. Once they say she remembers and this is what happens, that can be picked apart. You can't pick apart a million what ifs.
I absolutely dislike Becky. Lena, what is going on with you? You're not pulling up.
Lena, are you in or are you out?
I'm already here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm here.
Your thing was buffering.
Listen, I am so over Becky.
Becky is a yes man to Christine.
She is. She really is. She really is. And she's not really, I don't think she's really helping her argument, because she keeps saying like, oh, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this. Yeah, exactly. It could be any of those things, because nobody knows what happened, Becky. Nobody knows what happened. So what do you guys think so far?
I think they both give me a headache.
Not impressed. Not impressed.
You know, I was telling Kaleena this, but when I first started my TikTok, I was not paying attention to their YouTube channel and whatnot.
Real quick.
Or even to Christine's interviews. I was not paying attention just because I was like just into the court files and whatnot. But obviously, to debunk them, you have to listen to them. And it's a lot to sit through, especially, and I feel like the recent days, it is a lot to sit through them talking. They are such hateful, vile human beings that it literally like I could sit through parts of it and then I got to take a break, because it is really hard to absorb all of that in one sitting, because they really are full of hate. And what you open your ears to is going to affect you. What you're sitting and listening to definitely affects you in some certain extent. So literally, they are really hard for me to, and I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but they are really hard to sit through and listen to them. Just because of what comes out of their mouth. They're just constantly fat shaming. It's pure ugliness. That I can't. I literally can't. I'm not with drama, ugliness, bad vibes. Like I like to preserve my energy at all costs. And if I'm gonna put energy towards something, it's gonna be towards something productive and good, but not like, sitting through I don't know how anyone sits through their stuff just for the sake of following them or entertainment or like any other reason besides debunking them. Like, it's crazy that people don't. And another thing I was thinking about is when a lot of the times when we're going over stuff, we'll pull up the receipts. Me, Kaleena, somebody in our chat, in our panel is going to pull up receipts, and we're going to show you guys on the court papers. We're going to pull it up and we're going to show you, right? They have the same access to do that. So when they're debunking what Cuomo and Natalie is saying, they can pull up receipts, and they don't. And I noticed in one of these interviews, they were talking about the text between Mackenzie and Dom, and they were lying about it. And it's like, pull up the text. Show us. If what you're saying is true, pull up the text. Pull up the text right now on screen as you are talking. They won't do that. They don't pull up receipts as they are talking. They will not show you. They take something and they run with it, and they're debunking, but they're not debunking at all. If they were debunking, I want to see the court paperwork. I want to see the receipts. I want to see proof. And they won't. That's something they won't do, which is mind-boggling to me, because like you're sitting here trying to say you're going to debunk, but you show us no proof, and then you just go on your tangents about this person's wrong, this person's lying, da 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 da. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna start playing. Right? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh.
So I think that was just the first thing that they came up with, and it was better to them than making a story. And honestly, if I committed murder and I was guilty as shit and had all this evidence against me, I might say that too. You know what I'm saying? If I was a big fat liar like that.
Right. You are.
If I was a big, disgusting, trashy, ignorant,
you are
vile,
Serving,
terrible liar,
disgusting person.
I would maybe say that as well. That was a pretty good alibi, because she just doesn't remember,
Right, because the moment that you say, I remember exactly what happened, and I know for a fact that I had a medical episode because I felt a POTS episode coming on, and all that, then that can be picked apart. Then people can poke holes in your one story, because we've done that already. Because of the fact that they've claimed she can't remember, and they've come up with this scenario, that scenario, this scenario, we then have to poke holes in each one of those scenarios, to the point where we've said, if she wants to say Dominic grabbed the wheel, if she wants to say she passed out.
Who is saying that Dominic grabbed the wheel? Who is saying Dominic grabbed the wheel? Did anyone say that?
It's because like Chris Cuomo said, she could have used that rather than just saying she couldn't remember, because like there was obviously a better lie she could tell. I think that's what she's like referring to.
I guess. The only person I remember saying about grabbing the wheel was the prosecution. Saying that he probably tried to grab the wheel because he was trying to save their lives. That's the only thing I remember. They don't understand that it could have been more than one thing. Yeah. A lot of people say that because the wheel was Here we go.
And then also say that the judge was corrupt, and also say that the lawyer was corrupt, and also say that the prosecutor was corrupt. But what they actually have to do is they have to have all of it happening at the same time, because
they also said Davion was in the trial. I remember they also said that Davion might have been putting his phone in her face, showing them a picture that his friend had just sent him. He had friends that were out of town in like Colorado or something that had sent him a picture around the same time that the crash happened. So they were trying to say in trial that what if Davion was, reaching over and showing Kenzie a picture of, this picture and distracting her from driving. But it's like, why was she going 100 miles an hour in a 25 mile an hour road that's bumpy and swervy? No, because you need your full focus to get to the end. You can't be out of focus because the road is so windy.
But no one is saying that. No one has said that. No one has said that, right? No one is saying that she immediately...
She said they said it in trial, but I don't know, because she said that Landon and Rosie testified and that wasn't true. And that wasn't true. So literally whatever Christine says, you cannot take it.
Do I have any, are there any mods in here? I don't know if I have any mods in here. Connor, Carolyn, we're not delusional.
Boo Boo,
I muted
Boo
that.
Boo's in here, I think. I don't know. Boo Boo's
I
a
muted
mod.
that person.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Callie girl in the chat, she actually went and drove that road.
Oh yeah.
She said, yeah, she did. And she says it's not 25 miles per hour.
Oh, it's not. What is it? It's like 40 or something.
I think it was 35, no? 30 or 35?
I don't remember, but Kelly girl might.
It's a 35.
It's 35, yeah.
35. I thought that's what Landon
They
said.
just all they do is like they literally talk about things to make it
They
seem
said Divine was 13 years old. This poor 13-year-old girl. Oh my God, they stay lying. They stay lying.
People just eat it up. I cannot. I wish I could like force these people to come to our lives. To like listen to the truth.
But no, they need a million little things to happen in perfect order for that to happen and it not be her fault. Like I've gone through the scenario of they say she turned the corner, she passed out, somehow didn't go limp, she went stiff. Her passengers, for some reason, realized it, and instead of doing any life-saving maneuvers, just I guess steered the wheel on their own on purpose
Into a building, right?
and drove themselves into a building while she was passed out.
That's what they're saying. Unbelievable. Yeah, when you put it that way, like that's
Yeah. When you put it that way, yeah.
Yeah.
When you put it that way, the complete opposite, making no sense kind of way. Oh.
Play it back, public, and then listen to what Becky just said. Like that's what would have had to have happened. And then again, they tried to say a POTS episode where your body goes limp. It doesn't go stiff.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold a gas pedal down to the ground with no let up whatsoever. It was pedal to the metal.
People were saying your foot could be heavy and go down. There have been a lot of people that drive the exact same type of car. They drive a Camry, and they have said they have tried to push that pedal down to the floor, and they said it takes force to get it all the way down. You're talking. Your foot can push a pedal normally halfway down, even further. A lot of people have never actually put their pedal to the floor to know how much pressure it takes to keep it down for 20, 25 seconds.
Yeah, and she weighed like 85 pounds. So
she would have had to have been hard pushing herself against that seat and pushing her down on that pedal.
And then your leg gets cramped after a while because I'm a speeder. I had a.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what she said? Your leg cramped up because she said because I'm a speeder. She says it.
Down. You're talking, your foot can push a pedal normally halfway down, even further. A lot of people have never actually put their pedal to the floor to know how much pressure it takes to keep it down for 20, 25 seconds.
Yeah, and she weighed like 85 pounds.
So she would have had to have been hard pushing herself against that seat and pushing her down on that pedal.
And then your leg gets cramped after a while because I'm a speeder. I had my last car had like a turbo in it, whatever, and I had driven fast before is what I'm saying. But like holding it down on all the way down for a little while. It even like makes your leg tired.
Yeah.
It
takes
her
force to
seat
push your
was
foot
very,
down
very
that car.
close.
It takes
Her seat was
control
very
to make
close.
sure that car doesn't leave the road. Okay, there is no way if you pass out after you turn at the top of the street that your passengers aren't going to start making life-saving maneuvers if you're pushing down on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
So there's just no way that their sequence of events can work without having to pull in a million impossible scenarios and put them all together. And
But no one's saying that.
it sounds so crazy and far-fetched when you try to piece together what they say happened. And even still to this day, they won't say exactly what they will not
They
give a
sure
theory
do have a lot in common.
as to really what they think happened. They say, well, it could have been this, it could have been this, it could have been this. That's not going to work.
That's their defense. That's their tactic.
But the thing is, that's all it is. And that is all they are saying too. It could have been this because no one knows what happened. Yeah, I did change my shirt. Yeah, cause
For the comments.
yeah. Oh my god, almost broke my little keyboard. It's reasonable doubt, yes. Wait, it's so crazy and far-fetched you're even talking. I'm confused. Are you talking about Becky?
Yeah, I think that's what, yeah.
Oh, Becky, okay. Yeah, this is actually comfy too. More comfy than the shirt that I was having on.
If they
They're going to maintain she doesn't remember because that's the only way they could throw a million things at it and try to get one of them to stick.
Yep.
But all right, let's keep going.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point of pushback.
Yeah.
But when they look at it, anything could have happened. What do you think could have happened in that car?
Wait, can we go back I want to address your one question about her
Of course.
not being suicidal. Okay.
Well, yes, because I'm not saying whether she is or isn't. I'm saying that
Well,
in
there's
order for her to
actually-
do this, the way the prosecution says, she must have been ready to kill herself.
No. So there's text messages where she was that night, the night before the car accident, she's confirming going to work the next day. She was going to be taking care of somebody's pets. while they're on vacation.
Unbelievable.
So that night before the car accident, she was making sure, hey, do you still need me tomorrow?
So again, deciding that you don't care about living can happen in seconds, minutes. It does not need to be when they're talking.
They're
It
trying
wasn't
to say-
premeditated. They're not
yeah.
saying she premeditated it weeks
This is
earlier,
part
which I
two.
personally think she did.
No,
I
it was
personally think
minutes.
that she was shaping this for months and
Yeah.
leading up to this.
Yeah.
But just for the sake of argument, for the minimum of premeditated can be premeditated minutes prior.
Becky, I just saw we have proof that I just saw it. I have it somewhere in one of the documents where the dad says several times she's suicidal.
And pause it. No, she wasn't. She's talking. Okay, she's talking. There's two different instances. Okay, there's an incident where the cops were called back in 2020. Okay, just because she was suicidal in 2020 does not mean that 3 years later she's still in that headset. Okay, number one. Number two, she's talking about the hospital and how Mackenzie on August 6th, Mackenzie got combative. And I could pull it up. I could pull it up right now. The phone call that Hazu made to the responding police officer, he did not say she was in that mindset. I could play it. I don't know if you guys want me to, but I could play it because
I think if you can find it, that'll be good.
I have it right here. Say less. It sounds to me like Hazu is actually coaching him into saying something that he didn't say. But let's take a listen.
Hello. Hi, is this Sergeant Doyle? Yes. How are you? Good. This is Detective Jesus from the police. How you doing? Good.
Yeah, as I said, I talked to a couple of your officers today. When this happened to me, I'm sorry, I'm congested from a cold.
Oh, no worries, Sergeant.
Yeah, I don't mind writing something, but I don't know how good it would be since there was only a very, very brief interaction with him. So,
Well, this is was this pertaining to to that call you guys were sent to August 6th, where she was combative?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the same one. Because I was gonna say, I know someone reached out to you guys about that.
Right. And is there? I'm not trying to question your guys' procedures, but is there a reason why no report was generated?
Well, we don't really unless it's a hands-on or something like that, or like a big disturbance. We don't generate reports for that kind of stuff. It's just
Gotcha. Okay. Well, at this point, this is a homicide investigation, and so what Shirilla's dad said to you is material. I consulted with the prosecutor, and it's extremely important because we are trying to show that she intentionally drove the car into the wall. And if her dad made those statements, that's critical.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I remember him saying she needs a psych eval, but I don't remember how he said it, why he said it. I remember the word psych eval in there.
Okay, so what you told the officers this morning?
What you
that
told officers?
Kind of alluded to or stated that she wanted to take her life and drove the car into the building.
No, that's not
No.
how I worded it this morning.
That's not how he worded it.
He just said like he's like, my daughter, like, was in a serious accident or something along those lines, and he's like, he was mad that like, like the staff wasn't like helping him out. So like like he's like, they need to, do a psych eval because like she wanted to leave. That's why he's like real up there because she was
Because she
screaming,
wanted to leave.
Okay. And do you guys not wear body cameras?
No, we do not.
Okay. Well, Sarge, listen, I know this is a pain in the ass for you, but I'm going to need a statement from you. You can reply to the email that I sent, and you got to be detailed because the prosecutor's going to look at it. Like I said, this is a homicide investigation.
No, I totally understand.
So, I know the CAD number, your guys' CAD number is 31787.
Yeah.
Whatever the dad told you, describe how his demeanor was, and, if the prosecutor looks at it and has more questions, I'll have the prosecutor call you directly.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I was going to say, that was like back in what, August?
August 6th, yeah. August 6th.
Yeah, I was going to say, like our policy is, like, unless it's a real big disturbance or, like, as long as it's, like, not a hands-on or anything, it's just a CAD call, like, for PCC.
Yeah. I mean, that's your procedure. If the prosecutor has an issue with it, then he'll ask you about it, and you just testify to your procedure. But like I said, the details of that encounter are very critical, especially at this point in the investigation, because everything is lining up to show this was not just an accident, was not a random act. So
I don't like. He like, cause like I barely talked to her at all, like, cause we stepped out and talked to the dad, and then like I'll have to look to see who came up there with me.
The badge numbers are 3 and 77. Which one are you?
3.
You're 3. Okay.
Yeah.
So number 77 was with you. He was actually. Looks like you guys both got there at the same time.
Okay.
You were there for about 20 minutes, according to your CAD call. But no big deal, Sarge. Like I said, write as much as you can, be as detailed and descriptive as you can. Describe the dad, his demeanor, the circumstances. I mean, like I said, this is going into a homicide investigation. So I'll just give it to the prosecutor, and we'll see. We'll take it from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk to 77 Officer Chicharron tonight too.
Okay. Yeah, and if he had heard anything else, just have him separately send me an email too, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, Sarge. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.
So yeah, Hazu calls him and he's saying, no, that's not what I said this morning. That's not the wording that I used. So he's saying, the father was saying she needed a psych eval. She was trying to leave the hospital. She was combative. She wanted to go to Dom's funeral. That's what the whole situation was. She was very upset. She was very combative. And she wasn't in a condition to leave the hospital, which is why her dad said she needs a psych eval, because she's not acting in the right mind. She knows she's not capable of leaving the hospital. I mean, she's still undergoing care, and she's wanting to go to this check herself out and go to the funeral. So, but Sergeant Doyle says, like, no, that's not what I said. That's not the wording that I used. It just seems like, and there's also emails too, and I can't pull those up because I seen them, but I don't know where they're at, and I've been looking for them to pull up the emails to make a TikTok. But there's also emails where Hazu emails him, and he's basically saying the same thing. Like,
he's like, I'm gonna need you to do a statement in the email too. He says that same thing or whatever.
Yeah. He wants him to do a statement, and he's like, but like, he's basically trying to say, and you could hear he's nervous, like he's stuttering and stuff. Like, I feel like he was being intimidated or pressured into saying something, and he knew it didn't sit right with him. That's why he was like like he seems almost like he's
Tracy.
nervous.
Where is Tracy? I'm surprised that she's not here. I sent this to her.
Oh yeah, I just realized that.
If you guys could like I know that we're like chatting, but tap and chat. That way we can get like a higher legs. I was trying to show you guys how this froze on her face. Could you guys see the picture or no?
A little bit. It's like the white blurred it out.
See the white did. Oh man. You can't see. Oh. Look at. Can you see?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Let's continue playing.
No, it's a fact. That was said. She's suicidal. The father stated this. It's on record.
Yeah,
so
it's on
she's
record.
sitting up here and lying during these interviews. It's making now it went from like whatever. Now this is it gets me very angry to sit here and I don't want to see. I hate her face.
But why does she get so angry knowing that she's like, okay, I don't even know why I'm asking why. I know why. But like, you know that why she was getting combative. She wanted to go to the funeral. Like, it wasn't because she was suicidal, because she was trying to commit suicide. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, Kenzie was like having like an episode and
Yeah, I would
they
too.
made it seem like, yeah, exactly. They made it seem like she was just, doing it because she was responsible for the deaths. But it's like, well, mentally, she was obviously not in a good place. She's in there getting surgeries. She's hurt. Her boy, what just happened? People telling her things. So,
I mean, I remember when I had like a very bad situation happen to me where I'm not going to say anything, even though I've already talked about it on here before. But like, I wanted to KMS. I did not want to live. Like, and that was during COVID time. So I was even more depressed. But it's like, it's just something that you feel when you lose someone that you love, or when you lose something that you love,
or like not in a good mental space.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there before too. So I can relate.
If anybody entertain it, it's really pissing me off.
If anybody has tuned in to Rotten Mango, I know, Christine, you're still to a point, and I am finding out that I did not even read all of these texts. There's thousands and thousands of these text messages. But anybody that has seen even a quarter of them or a portion of them knows how toxic Mackenzie was towards him. And for her to sit and say they weren't toxic and she would give them relationship advice, that just shows me that you are more insane than your daughter. You're the one that was giving her the advice to treat him like that? You want to take credit for the way Mackenzie had been treating Dominic that whole time?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yep. You look even worse now.
Yeah. So you're telling me the way that she was treating him was being shaped and taught by you. Sick.
But she was like, she's like, okay, I just want to make sure. So she's confirming going to work the next day. So that's
what they're doing? They're like making each other feel good. Like, they're lying to each other, lying to themselves, and like they're like lying. Yeah. That's a good lie. That's a good lie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You act like Dom's good. Yeah. They're backing their own lies together and making themselves feel better about it.
And then there's other messages where she was planning her birthday party, making birthday reservations. So ignorant. People that are suicidal, they don't have future plans like that. So
yes, you stupid. They do actually. They do. You stupid. I'm sorry.
So let's talk about this.
I have someone in my life that has committed suicide, and they had plenty of fucking plans.
Yeah,
days.
Because again, it doesn't have to be something that you think about.
We had plans to go to a football game within hours of her, and I'm not gonna bring up any more specifics, but
they are so full of hate. So full of hate. Like, okay, if someone is suicidal, I understand that could come at any time. Usually they don't have plans, but yes, they could have plans. But for you to act like this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they believe their own lies so bad that they overreact like this. Have you guys seen that one video where the girl's like, calm down. In the car, calm down.
Yeah.
They're trying to make themselves believe their story. Yeah, they are. They're doing the most to try to make themselves believe their story. Ay, ay, ay.
I know someone in my life that committed suicide, and we were supposed to go to a football game the next fucking day. You nasty fucking. Make sure you beat that out.
I will.
I'm sorry,
You
but
have to, otherwise
so,
it'll get banned.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It's terrible because even if you want to go public cases, okay, Robin Williams had things going on, commitments and everything. Okay, the lead singer of Linkin Park had things going on too, and anybody around him could have said they would have never known he was going to do that. So for her to sit here and say that you could tell somebody was going to, or you had any thought in your brain that you could say they for sure wouldn't have done that it's not even naive. It's plain ignorant, and it's willful ignorance. It's purposeful ignorance. And you know what's funny is, yet again, I paused this randomly and look
at her face. Becky, I was just gonna say I have goosebumps. I swear to God, I looked up and I wanted to say, look at how demonic her face looks.
Every time I see her talk, it's so disgusting.
Look at her. I have goosebumps all over my body. I swear to God.
Gross.
I was just gonna say that.
Never. She loves life and herself and values love her family way too much. Never, ever.
I know this is going to be an annoying way for me to describe this, but I've always felt that this was one of the biggest reasons I would have wanted a jury trial. Look, I get that counsel could have been worried that there was too much propaganda out there and that everybody was going to hate her and she wasn't going to testify and it was going to be too tough, and they were better off with a jury.
Becky was not close to Dom. Becky didn't even know who Dom was.
I get it. However, this one question, she had to have wanted to kill herself, because reasonably what she did should have killed everybody in the car.
Right.
So she must have been suicidal. Okay. But all of the text messages that you show,
it's on record.
It's on record.
He said it.
And there was also a time a couple years prior that her parents called the police to her house because they were worried that she was going to harm herself.
Thank you. Repeat that, because I forgot. That's what I was talking about. Go ahead, repeat it.
There was a couple years prior to this accident where her parents called the Strongsville police to their house because they were worried that she was going to hurt herself. So this has been reported not just once but twice. It just shows a pattern that she threatens this when she gets upset.
But didn't Dom do the same thing in text message?
He sure did. He sure did.
Yep. They both did.
Yeah. Listen, Becky didn't know Dom, and neither did Christine. Christine didn't know Dom either. They're strangers. He was hardly close to Chris. Yeah.
She is very impulsive. Okay.
I hope everybody is listening good to what Becky just said again.
Yeah.
And actually, that was in trial, I believe, where they talked about that they had called the cops to the house, I don't know how many times, and for her being suicidal.
Oh, and by the way, guys, I am starting to upload my lives, or these lives, on YouTube. And I honestly, I have no clue what I'm doing on there. I have to have a meeting with Melly, because I need for her to explain some things to me. So really, I'm uploading it, and it says like the date, whatever date it's uploaded, that's the title.
Oh, you have to edit it. Yeah, you have to go. I have to look at what you're looking at. So yeah, we'll talk. Maybe we'll do like a thing.
But I'm starting to, and I want to go back and upload the ones that I could upload, but like this will be uploaded once we're done. And so they're going to be going on YouTube.
I'm going to sit up here and lie. Go ahead.
Yep.
Everything that she had said. And very odd that someone who is suicidal and then two of her closest people are gone and she doesn't try to hurt herself after that, even with her life being ruined by what she did.
No, because in her brain, she fixed her life. Now she killed two people. She thinks she's going to get away with it, and she thinks she's going to be famous. Within hours of waking up in the hospital, she realized that she lived through it. She was happy that she lived through it, and she knew that she was now going to be famous.
They just love making stories. They're just making.
Wait, famous? Why? Like, I don't get it.
Oh, she's going to be famous.
This is literally just coming out of their app. Like, they have. This is all theory. This is all just shit from their head. Where is the proof? Like, you guys are just giving theories on how you think she felt, what you think she was doing in the hot.
What is that called? Projecting. Like, that's what they would do. That's what you would do, Becky.
That's what you guys are literally doing.
Yeah.
You have your platform because of Dom and this whole situation.
Like, they're just creating things. I don't.
How fucking demented you have to be to do
No,
something.
You know what the normal person experiences? It's called survivor's guilt. You feel
Yeah,
guilty for
And
speaking.
that's exactly what
Get out of bed,
happened
she
when
would
she
never put on
was
makeup, she wouldn't.
combative
For
in the
years,
hospital.
It's been 4 years and I still lay in bed and freaking I couldn't even get out of bed on
But
Friday.
I don't understand because
That was supposed to be-
they were saying she laid up in the hospital saying this is my fault or she was feeling guilty. That is survivor's guilt to be a driver and accidentally kill. Like, I mean, if that's what happened, you know, like
Yeah.
think about that. Like, I don't know.
There's
It's crazy
And I wish
because it's like either if she does show guilt or remorse or anything, then she's a bad person. They find a way to nitpick that. She's not doing it the right way. She's not doing it long enough, you know, or it means that she's guilty. She's admitting to guilt. Like there's never a win. Like no matter if she does it or if she doesn't do it. If she doesn't do it, she doesn't have remorse. She doesn't have sympathy. She doesn't have guilt. Like the girl can't win no matter what. No matter and same thing with Natalie and Steve. They can't no matter what they do. They can't win. Like the people, I really hate that more people cannot see this because it's like,
Wait, hold on, guys.
And everybody's mental health is like different. How people take things in, like
Right.
emotion. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like you can't expect one person to.
hers and Mama Russo's text messages, I mean, she was like nothing but sorry. Like, I don't get it. I don't get what people say when they mean she wasn't remorseful. She was saying sorry. She apologized to Divine. She
To Angelo
apologized
too,
to
right?
Angelo, to Christine. Like she was out here. She was actively talking to Frank and having and maintaining a relationship with him after. Like, what the heck? What do you mean she wasn't remorseful? And all she did in those text messages was try to connect with the family, to either be in his house or to connect with them. She's like, I just want to grieve with you guys. That was her. That's something she said is I want to grieve with you guys. And they gave her the boot. Like they just pushed her out. So
Yeah,
like,
and Christine.
but then you're mad because you didn't see her grieve. Like, what do you mean? You didn't want her around. How would you know if she's grieving or not?
Exactly.
Like, ugh.
I don't get
Anyways,
it.
I could go on and on.
Can you take Chancey? Can you take Chancey at the same time? Oh, okay, never mind.
We'll take them out later.
Okay. Trying to get her to walk my dog. Not gonna happen.
I'm busy trying to set her up.
All right, let me continue playing.
Somebody she loved, and she was with him every day for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a long time. And the fact that she was trying to get modeling gigs and laying in bed and filming herself and having a grand old
Lying
time
to her loved one's family, trying to avoid talking to you, saying that she's unconscious.
Yeah.
It's gross.
What?
Is very suspicious. And it would have been, I think, something that weighed on a jury. At least some of them would have been like, well, that's weird. It doesn't seem like she was suicidal. Well, then maybe something else happened. And that's called reasonable doubt.
That's right.
But that did not happen.
What?
It's on record, and I don't think he knows that. I got to text this guy that I have one of his contacts information. I'm going to text him.
Chris Cuomo knows. He knows more about the case than you do. Apparently.
Yeah, Chris Cuomo knows the case like by actually looking at the paperwork. They know the case by like secondhand information gossip.
Documentary. And actually, I think I don't know which video, it's one of these, either this one or the Federal Habeas one. But he's like, yeah, and then in that other documentary, blah 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 blah. I just like, and she's using it as proof.
Yeah. And documentaries leave a lot out. It's
Yeah.
like one, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't possibly, it's a lot of information. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping, we would love to, I think it would be good to do it on Melly's channel, to be honest, on YouTube, to get Chris Cuomo.
oh, I feel like, I don't know. I don't see him on a lot of like small channels. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
We
like,
gotta change that. You
it's a
never know
possibility.
because there's a huge interest in the case. Like we are kind of like the, you know, advocates for Mackenzie. So maybe he would want to like hear from.
Yeah. And also at the last part of his, I didn't catch this before, but the last thing he said on the next video, he said at the end, if she has any friends or anyone who wants to talk, like to bring things out, like let him know. And who's Frito?
I don't know who that is.
I'll put in a call to Frito for you girls. I don't know who that is. Is it important? Is it an important person?
Oh, do they mean Chris?
Godfather? Oh, Frito is Chris. I guess that's what they're talking about. I'm not against the floor. No, I actually want to get my lips done. Like I actually had them done before and it's already deflated.
Oh, it's a nickname for Chris, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, but hey, if you can call for him, yeah, we would.
Yeah, I've reached out, but I'll reach out again and see what he says.
Yeah,
or if he responds more like that.
Yeah,
it was over, and then the things I
You could have had as long as you wanted, but that's all your defense was because you had no defense. Go ahead. Right.
I don't know what happened. Something's wrong. Something's wrong somewhere. I don't know. I don't understand. I'll let it.
Fucked up. That's what.
What is the plan going forward?
I'm finding that this appellate process is being stuck in quicksand. During this process, I've talked to many different appellate attorneys.
What is she
and
looking
they've
at?
all said, we've lost our way, our country's
She's
lost.
looking. Stop. She's looking and reading something as she's talking.
Oh my God.
You know, pause it.
I paused it.
Christine literally reads all her long shit. I don't know if you guys ever pay attention, but there's when she the video "Leave My Family Alone" or something where she came on and said don't engage with us, report us, like that big old speech. She was reading some, like if you go back and watch some of her YouTube videos, she is clearly reading something.
Yeah.
But like when someone else does it, it's a problem. This is what I mean is the hypocrisy is insane. Like insane.
And you can
like
tell
it's
that
okay for her to read something, but it's not okay for Natalie Shirilla to read something. If she was, I don't know if she was or not. But if she was, like
thinking, she's answering a question that is hard for her to wrap her mind around, and she's trying to figure out the right words to say. That's what she's doing. What normal people do.
We can't even get through a minute of her because there's something else she says that that's ridiculous. Like
she had this written out or something.
I did. I thought in the beginning of this that she was reading. Even remember from the last time when she was talking about pots, I said she was reading something.
She's reading. It's written down. It appears that she's reading something, especially with, I noticed that before too with the pots thing. And right now she's reading her answers. When I do these interviews, I have never once had to read anything because it comes from the heart. When you don't lie, you don't have to read something. You know what I'm saying?
Or have even bullet points. I feel like when she was talking about pots, she had little ChatGPT bullet points of what happens during a POTS episode.
Yes.
Because after the first half of reviewing this, where she talked about, you have to let them fall, we had tons of comments under our video from even medical professionals that say you should never let a fainting person fall if you can prevent it. You do not allow them to get a traumatic brain injury on top of fainting.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to lay them down immediately, but no, you'd never let them fall.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only reason she would say that, is to try to garner sympathy and make you feel bad for her.
Mm-hmm.
Our appellate process has gone from really caring about doing what's right and more about procedural errors. So I have no choice but to be guided by hope that somebody
I know that's not what Natalie meant at all.
And see in black and white that there was no proof of intent and things that were not presented in the trial that could have proven that. I'm just guided by hope. I'm just going to keep going. And I am.
Trial. There was a fair trial.
It was not a fair trial. It was not a fair trial.
She sits up there and tries to lie. And she doesn't realize what this does to the family and what we're going through. Filing that habeas corpus a day or two, having it come out a day or two before the 4th death anniversary, the hardest one yet. We're all going through a lot because of this Netflix documentary. We're all suffering very, very badly. Everybody is mad. Everybody's angry. Everybody is sad. We're really struggling on both sides. Not her side. I'm talking both families. Sorry. And the lack of remorse and, they couldn't have waited until after July 31st to.
You know what I'm about, and this is going to sound so heartless of me.
Say it, girl, say it.
But I wish, I don't care. you're not hurting enough. You're not hurting. You're not hurting about your brother. You're creating this hurt. You're not like, you're literally not. If you were really grieving your brother, you wouldn't be creating this whole mess. Lying like every other second of every video that you make. You would, if you actually were hurting and grieving your brother, you wouldn't be making up stories and making things, like literally making it worse for yourself in a pretend world, because you're literally working yourself up based on the lies that you're telling everyone. I can't even explain. Do you understand? Am I coming through? Like, I don't.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
It's like, I don't care. And so when she says, oh, we're a grieving family, I don't care. I don't care, because you're not.
Because she's throwing the victim flag out to get away with all that she's getting away with, to exploit her position in the scenario. And Dom's her sister, so Dom's her brother, so like, you know, like she's definitely
Making it for attention. That's exactly what she's doing. Like, if you actually cared and were sad, like, you wouldn't be doing all of this, because you're what is the purpose of lying about everything? Not once did Mama Russo get on TikTok over. No, she didn't. The literal definition of doing too much. She literally is doing too much. Oh my gosh. And Becky looking over there looking like Sid. It wouldn't be so out of nowhere. Yeah. She's the one, like, she has to play this part now because they created a mess. Okay.
it's just wild.
Violet, selfish.
Yeah, no, it's just a throw it in your face. And I thought for a while now that, remember when we talked about the boom shirt, and that it wasn't just paying homage, because he could have just worn a shirt with the guy's YouTube page on it, but no, you had to wear boom shirts. People talk about it because it's all about drumming it up. So I'm starting to feel like they did this way on purpose, and they did this Netflix documentary to get this out there, and then they want to file this because they have the public outcry. But what they've also done a great job is tainting any future potential jury pool.
Yeah, they're evil and manipulative. They really are.
Yeah,
this is all
disgusting.
fun.
And I would be so shocked if there's no way that they're going to grant her a new trial with all of the evidence presented.
Yeah, in the next episode we'll cover the whole habeas corpus. We'll read it through and talk about it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we'll do the next one with that. Okay. For this.
I feel bad for the families, because I am going to keep going.
That's
I
right,
hope that they
Natalie.
also
You
do this
keep
for their kids,
going.
too. And
Yes.
their kids would want them to do this for them too if something was wrong. If there was
Yes.
something wrong, if they were convicted incorrectly,
Really
they
quick.
should be doing this for their kids too.
Okay, I've said it again. I've said it time and again. I have kids of my own. I would defend them to the end for anything that they ever did, except when it hurts somebody.
Triangle. We're watching the Big Sis Unhinged, her reaction to Natalie and Chris's interview, Chris Cuomo. And just going over what is actually the truth and debunking her lies and reacting to it, basically. Can you imagine me and Christine's child? What a nightmare. I know.
Else. You know, like,
Oh, wait, let me.
except if it is.
I feel bad for the families, because I am going to keep going. But I hope that they would also do this for their kids too. And their kids would want them to do this for them too if something was wrong. If there was a true wrong, if they were convicted incorrectly,
Really quick.
they should be doing this for their kids too.
Okay, I've said it again. I've said it time and again. I have kids of my own. I would defend them to the end for anything that they ever did, except when it hurts somebody else. You know, like, except if it's really, really hurting somebody else. And to an extent, of course, you're always going to defend your kid, but bitch, your kid murdered 2 people, and you could tell, like, you're.
Triangle. Give me one of Mackenzie's lies, and then we can talk about it.
But you got to bring receipts.
Yeah, bring receipts.
Don't just say it's a lie, but like I want to see like an
Yeah.
actual receipt that she is lying.
Wait, no, let's not scare the person away, guys, just yet. Just tell me one of the lies. We can start with that. Let's see what you have to say.
I will give you a chance. Hey, I'll allow it.
We'll continue listening while you put something in the chat. I don't know, you said lies. No, you said, okay, yes. We are debunking lies that are said on this video by Big Sister Unhinged. You said we're debunking Mackenzie Shirilla's lies, comma, right? Question mark? No. If you have a lie that Mackenzie said, I'd be happy to talk about it. Well, we'd be happy to talk about it.
They're just as sociopathic as she is, you know. Right. It must be genetic. It could be. I thought it was like reverse nature, maybe, or whatever. But it's got to be genetic, because it's like there's the way that they show no accountability whatsoever. I would be ashamed if I was them. I would be ashamed to show my face. I would have disappeared off the face of this planet and told her to. If that was my kid, I said, you do your 15 years, you say you're sorry. And you pray to God that God saves your fucking soul.
Oh yeah,
that
right.
You can
yeah, right.
And we can spend the next life together up in heaven, like, you know, all eternity together. Because that's the only fucking way that you're going to heaven. You know, is if you repent. And I don't. They're evil. I think they're being truly evil for this.
They are. And I mean, there have been times, and this sounds so crazy that I'm even going to say this. There have been times through this trial that I have seen even a glimmer of hope in Mackenzie, where I've thought, I think she remembers and wants to come forward, but I feel like her parents are like not letting her. They won't let, like, there was one time where Mackenzie talked about when she wanted to commit suicide, and her mom quickly hushed her and said, no, we just thought you weren't trying to hurt yourself. We just thought you were going to try.
And that's on a recorded call.
Yeah. And it's like, there are times where I feel like she's.
And honestly, they basically are placating to the public, because everything that they talk about and everything that they're coming up as, like, this is nothing that's going to be talked about in court. Oh gosh, triangle. Ugh.
Do I need to hold you back?
We've already had an attorney on. We
literally just had Stephanie on.
Yeah.
Queen.
Actually,
a queen.
Yeah. So, okay.
You lost us at law school. We had an actual attorney on here. It was
That's
great.
actually pretty badass. She came on. Let's keep it so for real.
Yeah.
She's amazing. I love her.
She came on, like, I was shocked.
Yeah. And I love how she covers stuff. She's great.
Yeah. So if you're keep go another live. I'm sure you'll be helpful to somebody out there.
Wanting to kind of own up things, and her mom just won't let her.
Her mom.
So I mean, maybe at some point Mackenzie can change and repent and make amends.
Talking about repent.
But her mom sits around those calls and shushes her up, just like they do with the father. You know, now that they know that they're being recorded and things.
Right? Amanda, this is going to be on YouTube.
Like the orange shirt interview, but that one is really bad, and I don't know if we can handle watching that one.
Are you able to put yourself in their situation where you
Brock
have
Dangleberry.
reason to believe that the reason your daughter is gone is because of a crazy ex-boyfriend who just didn't give a shit about anything except what he felt in the moment? And that they do have good reason to believe that at this point, based on what's been in the trial and what's been reported around it. Mm-hmm. How do you think you'd feel if that were your mindset?
I cannot blame anybody for feeling the way they do about the situation with what they've heard and saw. I myself would have never questioned this ever if we're not going through it ourselves. I would never question anything in a million years. But going through what I'm going through right now, this is it's terrifying. So I can't blame people for feeling the way they feel about it. It's just they just don't know. There's so much that they don't know that's wrong with this case, and we need help.
You talk about the other.
We need help. She's playing on the heartstrings. She's trying to act and be so sad. But you know what? I do see genuine sadness. But it's just genuine sadness that she can't get her daughter out of prison. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. You feel so sad that your poor baby is going through this because you have some mental illness that says your poor baby can do no wrong. Mm-hmm. It's a disgusting. It's so gross, Christine.
I know, poor Natalie.
Families. Have you thought about talking to them? What would you say to them? I'm sure they'll be.
Oh my gosh. I thought so many times just about walking up to the Flanders house and knocking on their door, but I don't know if they want me to. But I want to.
Right.
And then the Russos, we were very close. We spent a lot of time together after the car accident, like a lot of time. And it's so hard for me to drive past their house and pretend like I don't know them. Or like,
She just said on a recorded call, everybody, that she can't wait to move or something along the lines. They were talking about moving, selling the house, and she states, we'll sell the house so we can move, and then I don't have to drive by that damn house every day.
She just said on a recorded call.
In 2022.
She just said on a recorded call in 2022, people. Listen, I need my blood pressure machine.
Oh, and she's also called us evil. She's also called us evil people.
Yeah, specifically, and the father is
You
called
are
me evil.
evil.
She's called us evil on the phone. Yeah, so they've called me evil several times and literally stated in a recorded call that she can't wait to sell the house, basically, so that she doesn't have to drive by my family's house, that damn house every day. But she's gonna sit up here and lie, and with these fake tears.
Now she's sad, and it makes her sad to drive past the house.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the evil ones. This is demonic evil shit.
Oh, Becky.
this part of my life never existed. And I know in some of my calls, I say different things in regards to them, but we were hurt and struggling and scared. So I would love
really
to
not.
go hug them.
Yeah, they
Shut
were
up.
hurt.
Tell them, I'm sorry
This
for
was
what
years
happened.
ago.
Just be there. I would literally do
She had
everything
every
for them.
opportunity, you guys, for a very, very long time. Up until I started doing this, I've never said one thing about them. My dad hasn't. My dad's never said anything about them. So there is no reason that they haven't contacted my dad and apologized or tried to hug my dad. The second that she got arrested, they stopped all the contact. They chose not to reach out. I just started doing this.
Okay. So if you guys are blaming her daughter for murdering your brother, son, whatever, and you're actively working against her, what is she gonna say? What is she gonna do? What is she gonna say? How is she gonna, if she doesn't believe that her daughter is guilty, what is she gonna say? What should she say? Does anyone know? Who is Jared? Gerard.
Someone that doesn't like Kenzie and Natalie and is hating.
Oh. So, I mean, I there's nothing for you to say. There's nothing. I wouldn't say anything. I'd be busy trying to save my daughter. Yeah.
Even said, your dad kept on thinking that it was an accident all the way up until through the trial. So very much after she first got arrested, they could have kept in contact with him because he didn't
They
know.
were at my house. They were at my house after the crash. I thought it was an accident. They were at my house. For what would have been Dom's 21st birthday.
She was at.
And,
they were at the house, not breathing and not
sorry.
remorsing
The second
or
that she got
whatever.
arrested, we had still thought it was an accident. Then there was no contact. But even after that, even after she was convicted, even in the courtroom, just the feel from them and the no hellos and the bad looks and the remarks and things like that from some of them, and it's like you had every opportunity. You could have written my dad a letter, sent a text, nothing. So it just goes to show. And it would have mattered to my dad, would have made a difference to my dad.
No hellos.
Right.
She's really caught up on people saying hello to her.
You're hungry, can I make your dinner? But it's hard. I would love that.
Why would you love that? Is it out of guilt that you feel responsible for what happened?
No.
Why not just say yes? Why not just say yes? My daughter took the lives of two young men. Right. Yes, I feel guilty. Just like when I say I feel guilty about Davion being dead because it was my brother's girlfriend who killed him, and Davion had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I can say, I feel guilty. I feel guilty. I feel guilty that, you know what I'm saying? That, but the fact that she can't just say, oh, no, I would never say I felt guilty.
Never admit guilt.
Don't
That's
say
their
that.
whole MO. Their whole MO is never admit guilt.
She can't even say that. That's pitiful. It's pitiful.
It's disgusting. I think I've said the word disgusting 20-something times already.
Yeah. Oh, no. Don't say the word guilt. No, never. I don't feel guilty at all. Your kid took two kids' lives, and you can't sit there and say you don't feel guilty. What is wrong with
your daughter? That's who you raised.
What's wrong with you?
Right. Like even if it was a medical episode, you could still say, I feel guilty that my daughter had a medical episode that happened because that's my child that was in the driver's seat.
Anything. If my kid, I don't care. If my kid took two kids' lives, I don't care how it happened. I would feel guilty no matter what. What is wrong with this woman?
Elevate with me, for God's sakes. Just calm down.
Even all these people saying terrible, untrue things about me. If they needed help, I would drop everything and go help them. That's just who I am.
On the what happens next part, you said you're dealing with counsel. Your daughter has an appellate team. Do they have a strategy?
And we've heard that from Landon and Faith, that Natalie always has been there for them, and specifically McChicken, she's like, Natalie has always been there for me and Kenzie.
I feel like Natalie is such a sweet person. She looks like she's such a sweet person.
I know.
And it's just, I feel.
How cool would that be to get her on panel one day?
I know. I'm trying.
But yeah, no,
I mean,
like,
it would be amazing, but like, can you blame her for not wanting to? Like,
oh yeah,
how she,
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
dissected everything she says is gonna be the wrong thing, no matter what.
I know.
So.
It's just the worst. I feel so bad for them. Yeah, because where are the other parents? That's right.
Habeas corpus appeal here, and if so, on what basis?
I don't want to say anything.
Okay. Well, you do have a team, and they are figuring out what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look, I mean, that's good, because if it shows, if nothing else, a depth of belief in what you put out about the case. It's an uphill. They appealed. They lost. They went to the Supreme Court. They refused to take the case. It doesn't mean it's dead, but appeal is usually for reversible procedural errors, because you don't usually do it on the basis of facts on the appeal unless new facts have come out. So it's a high bar, but you know this from talking to counsel. When people see this, well, go ahead. Do you have a comment on what I just said?
I do. I'm learning. I have no idea about the legal world, the criminal world. I don't want anything to do with any of this. Like, terrifying and scary for me. Like, we've never had any trouble with the law. I don't know these terms. That's why we were leaning on our lawyers.
Yeah,
like,
they would. If it wasn't the blue shirt.
Preponderance, which is a legal standard, less than reasonable doubt, more than probable cause. Preponderance of the evidence. It's usually a civil standard. But in what context are you using it?
I don't know. I heard that term from somewhere, and I thought that there's not enough. There's too much reasonable doubt. There's not enough proof of intent. I don't know if somebody says.
Well, look. I mean, again, a fact question is rarely reviewed by the appellate judge unless there's new information. Right. Especially when the trier of fact here, the judge, is also the jury. Which is also making the ruling in the bench trial. They're given a lot of sway. So. Look, it's difficult, but there is a review standard that you're talking about right now, and it certainly seems to be the most likely avenue. Let me ask you, if that doesn't work, how do you prepare yourself for what this is in terms of being the mother to Mackenzie Shirilla, how long she'll be in there, what that would be like, what it means for your life? How much thought do you give to that?
So Mackenzie and I would talk about it all the time. She knows that with even what's happened to her and the other families, and she's alive, which she struggled with. She had survivor's guilt pretty hard. Like, why am I healing so fast? Why can I walk? Why is this happening? Why can I do this?
Time out.
A lot.
The only thing I've heard that she's been really upset on these calls, or is when she talks about that she won't be able to have kids and have a life and things like that.
Oh my God.
The only time I've heard her upset is when she's talking about how this is going to affect her life.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But she knows she's blessed. She knows she's blessed and has a lot to be thankful for, because she is alive, and she knows that we're going to get through this. We will get through this. We've gotten through every bad day to this point, and we'll get through every bad day. A sentence. Everything's going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it just means it's not the end, but it's going to be okay, and we're going to get through this. We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
How hard is it for you?
My family is very close. We're very close and very, very strong and very connected, and none of us will ever.
Yeah, they covered for murder together.
Leave anybody behind. We're going to make sure that we're okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll make sure that we're okay.
The effort or lack of effort that has been done so far, trying to
refresh
refresh recollection, trying to see if with time and different types of treatment there can be recall of the events of that night. Mm-hmm. Have you done anything to pursue that avenue of treatment?
I need to know.
I don't know if I can. So before she was arrested, she wanted to go get hypnotized to try to remember what happened. When you're in a car accident like that and you have a real traumatic head injury, especially if it was that fast, sometimes your brain doesn't process the memory into a core memory type.
This is the long answer of no, we didn't, and we're not going to.
We're not going to. We didn't look into it. It was a bunch of lies.
Right.
A situation, sometimes there's literally nothing there. So she wanted to go and get hypnotized before she was arrested, and now she still does. She still talks about it all the time. I don't even know if they can. And
who's they?
Anybody that's imprisoned. I don't know if they can.
You mean you don't know if someone? Of course you can. Because you can do it. A lot of hypnotists work remotely. It would be a Zoom call like this.
My only concern is, and I don't care, because I know she didn't do it on purpose. I would want to be there.
She literally is like, oh, he tells her, you can, go ahead, you can. And she goes, well, I'm concerned, or my only concern is like, trying to stray away from it, or basically like, no, we're
it's,
not gonna
it's,
do
it's
that.
a really long way around. No, we're not going to do it, and we're not going to look into it. But I'm going to give you all the excuses in the book as to why.
Yep, keep going. Unbelievable.
They are so bothered.
Because
They are
when she has
so
a memory of
bothered.
that happening to Donna Davion, that's gonna struggle. She's gonna struggle with that, and I hope
So now because she doesn't want her to remember it because it's too painful.
It's too painful for her.
Too painful to remember that she's a dirty murderer.
Not that it would benefit the family if we found out what really happened, right? Now, don't think about anybody else, but
Wow.
and I won't be able to
You
be there
guys,
to
like,
hold her
do you think they don't hear themselves? Like,
I would make
literally, it's so
that I don't want her
like
to remember.
they're just so hateful. Everything that comes out is something bad about somebody. Like, it's crazy. It's wild. Like, they don't listen back on themselves and be like, damn, like, I need to chill the fuck out. Like, like
It's
and
like
people
everything is a lie, everything is fake, everything, and it's literally them though. It's just them.
like they're just angry, hateful. Like, they're just unhinged is the correct term. It's just wild. And then people consume this like on an entertainment type basis. Like, that's why I can't. Like, I was like said it earlier. Like, it's really hard to. I'm not used to sitting and listening to them. But in order to debunk them, you gotta listen to the interviews and stuff. But yeah, it's.
Look at these comments on this video. I have POTS. These people are ridiculous. Justice for the Russo and the Flanagan families always. They need to be sued civilly. The whole family is shameful. Those text messages were crazy. They needed to be read out loud to everyone to know what an abuse looks like from someone who claims to love you. And you are right. If she was coaching and guiding them, that's even crazier. Something is definitely wrong with Mackenzie, Natalie, and low test Steve. I think they found their people.
Yeah.
I do think that they found their people.
And but it's all people. I just get frustrated. It's hard.
I know.
It's hard because you can't open people's brains and put in the information, and all you could do is tell them, like, look at the court paperwork. But a lot of them, they're not. They're too lazy. They're too lazy to get all the because it is a lot. It's a lot when you're like. Luckily, I'm not in school right now. I'm about to start back up, but like I'm not in school right now, so I have like all day to like listen to the interviews, go through the court paperwork, like do all this and that. But let's be real, a lot of people don't, and so they just take Christine's word for everything. Like, they're just no one's like, it's hard to get people to understand. Go look at the information yourself. Like,
oh gosh. Oh my God, this one says it's so adorable that Becky looks so much like Dom. What?
I don't see that.
I don't see that. Oh God. Okay, whatever. Let me finish this because it's almost done.
And keep a straight face and not say something to her. He's pretty good at sticking to his questions with her. Mm-hmm. Because I think, like, as a normal person, he probably has a lot to say in his head right now.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot to say, but I don't keep it in my head.
Right, but he's trying to, be respectful, so they can continue on with the interview.
She is so in denial.
Like, we were just talking, we just found out new information that I thought that she was found with her head under the dashboard, but I thought that she was found under the dashboard on the driver's side. So we just learned, because remember, I'm learning that I haven't seen a lot either, so I'm kind of learning new things as other people are too. We recently learned that she was found under the dashboard on the driver's side. When she
meant to say
she was like, oh my God, I was
passenger
laying
side.
down for 45 minutes and just started crying. So she wants to be hypnotized, but I need somebody to be there that so she's safe to scream, feel when she finds out.
She already knows she killed them. What else do you have to be worried about?
Yeah.
What else do you have to be worried about? That's a disgusting, pathetic excuse.
That is, it is. It's all snaking around the fact that the answer is no, you don't want her to do it. So I think this is a good point to
That's what she looks like.
pause for the night because, of course, it works our blood pressure up. So we are going to come out actually with a part 3 coming soon.
Oh.
So stay tuned for that, you guys. And you good with that tonight, Christine?
Yeah, I guess.
You're getting upset. I don't want you to get too upset.
All right, well, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Night.
Oh, this big one? Yeah. Do you know how to put the thing on him?
No, let me get it.
They think they're mafia because they are Italian. They probably. I'm not gonna lie. They probably are. Yeah. Look at this. They're driving me to eat candy,
Yum.
I was gonna say that looks good,
which I don't really eat candy.
and I haven't even had dinner, so that looks really good.
Nancy, come here. Come here, Nancy. Come here. Oh.
Yeah, jewelry in there?
Yeah, there's jewelry in there.
That's your order?
You're gonna be eating dinner late, Rose.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Yeah,
Yes.
it is what it is. The things you sacrifice to be on live. I fed the kids,
Yeah.
and
I was like munching on chips while I was listening to Stephanie.
Oh.
I put all my investments in the kids, and I didn't do nothing for myself. Jacked up.
How do you guys eat your Twix?
What do you
Do you
mean?
eat it all at one time?
Yeah. What do you're eating
I
it all
do,
separate?
but you know what? I like eat my Kit Kat bars. Like I have to eat like layer by layer, but the Twix I just eat them like that. Like
All right, I'm gonna go see what I can find. I'm gonna be right back. You guys are making me hungry.
I eat the caramel first, and then I eat the Twix part. Sarah, where are you? I pick mine up just like you. Yes, this is the best way to eat it.
I'll have to try that. I'm not like a big Twix girl. I like Snickers and Kit Kat bars, and then I'll go to a Twix.
Oh, Australia. Oh, you said that. I love Twix. I like Kit Kat. I like Kit Kat too. The cookie part is the best part. So you leave it the best for last. I haven't had Dubai chocolate.
Oh, I've had a Dubai mocha, and it was fire from Starbucks.
So I'm actually not a big chocolate person or sweets person per se. I really like salty snacks.
Yeah, I'm more like that too. But if I had to, I would do like a Snickers, a Twix, or a Kit Kat. But I'm not like a big sweets person.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm back. This is what we chose.
What is that?
Does anyone know?
A gummy bear?
No, it is. It's a cracker, huh?
I was all a gummy bear.
It has chocolate and is it hazelnut?
Oh, the pandas. I keep hearing those are fire. Or maybe that was
So
you
good.
who was saying that last time. I don't
Yeah, I think
remember.
it was me. These are my good little
Yeah,
snacks.
it was you. No, I remember.
So I took a gummy for not for the first time. I hope my family my family's probably watching this, one of them. So I took a piece of a gummy the other night, on Saturday night. I went out with my friends. We were like doing we did a spa day. And then we went out. Yeah. And but the gummy was so old. I was pretty sure that it was expired. But anyways, I have a video. Let me show you guys this video. Hold on. No, that's not it. Is this it? Okay, yeah, this is it. This is me. That was yeah. It was just a
That's
little piece.
hilarious.
It was like a little piece.
That's
Oh,
funny. But it was good, wasn't it? Not me being the bad influence.
I don't know. I can't really remember.
Well, then that's good. You didn't wake up and hate your life, then yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good time. Did you
But
eat
yeah.
a lot?
No, actually, we went after the spa. We went to Outback. Me and my best friend went to Outback because I wanted to get a steak, and because we were like, it's gonna be too expensive to go to a real steakhouse, so we were just gonna go to Outback. I haven't been to Outback in forever, and I asked for medium rare, and it came medium. I was very disappointed, so I told them. And my friend told them, and my friend, she actually works in like the food industry, so she knows how to talk. And we sent it back. When it came back, it was even more cooked. So they ended up giving it to me for free. So I had a free steak, but it was dry.
Oh wow. Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take anything free food.
He gave me
I know.
on the house. I was like, hey, great. And then but I didn't eat the whole thing because it was like I said, it was really dry. And then we went out at night and we went to a bar downtown, and I have a friend who's a bartender there, and he gave me like a birthday drink thing. He made like special drinks for me.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was fun for an old person.
Hey, you're not old.
I know, don't feel old.
They say like 40 and 50 is like the new 20 or something. I don't know. I kind of believe it. I'm starting to believe it.
It might be, but
or was it Kim Kardashian that said that? I can't remember.
I turned 43.
Yeah, see? 40s is the new 20s for sure. I've heard that from many people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was still shit in my 20s, so wasn't such a big fan, but
Jameson, I'm 50 and that's a lie. I feel, you know what? Thank you for looking for
it's
me.
about your energy, girl. That's what it is, you know?
You calling me
I agree,
immature?
100%. 100%. I agree.
No, I'm saying like if you have a good soul and good energy, like I think that just reflects on the outer as well.
That's good. Yeah, I really don't I feel like my brain isn't 43 years old yet. I really feel like
it's because of the times we're living in, I feel like, because I feel that way too. Like and with my parents, I still act like I'm like younger, you know, like I'm in that mind, like I'm stuck. And I'm like, is that like, I told my therapist, like, is that normal? Like, am I losing my mind? Because it's like, I feel like with them, I'm still like the age I always was, I guess, when I was like, I've always been close to them, but like, and they treat me that way too. So it's like, wait, like if I was like in my 20s.
We have a VIP that came in, if you want to let Faith up.
Hi, Faith.
Oh, wait, well, if she comes up, if she requests, accept her. But so I didn't see the request. I had a comment the other day of this person thought they were trying to do something. They left a comment and they said, oh, she's 42 and she still lives with her mom. So here's the story, guys.
I have my opinions about that because we're from a different background. So I'm the same way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So but I did live on my own for a very long time. My dad died last year, and my mom is she's blind. She's legally blind. My sister was actually here caretaking my dad. Both of we take care of our parents. And my mom is legally blind. Her vision has gotten progressively worse, even faster than we ever expected. And she needs 24/7 care. So
That's why
You
people
know,
shouldn't talk shit because they don't know people's situations.
Exactly. So people want to run their mouth saying Kalena's living at home with her mom. Get the fucking story straight before you start running your mouth like
you're caring for your mom.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a big deal. I would
just
do the
because
same
you would
too.
put your mom in a nursing home or something doesn't mean everyone else does that. So people need to
Exactly.
shut their freaking
And
mouths
my
when it comes
mom
to
is very independent. She doesn't. It's like she doesn't need anyone. She doesn't need to be in a nursing home, but she needs help. Like she can't see. Like how would you feel if you can't see the food that you're eating? You don't see if there's a bug. You don't see if there's mold. You don't see if there's anything on your food. That's
I
terrifying.
would freak out. Yeah.
I don't know if I had the option to stay at home with my mom and help take care of her during that situation, I would. I think that's a normal thing. Like, I mean, your parents raised you. If you can help your parents in the future, that's something that, I don't know, that's normal to me. But how is
That is
everyone?
normal to me too, Faith. I love that you said that because that's literally it. Like my aunties are always like, "You're the one who's gonna take care of your mom and your dad." Like I love you for that because my older sisters are just like doing their thing and they have kids and all that, and I don't. But it's like, fuck yeah, I will. I'll straight up move in there. Like,
Yeah, my
hell yeah.
my grandma had gotten breast cancer, and then like it just progressively got worse and transferred in a different type of cancer and stuff. My mom literally took her to every single appointment, took her to literally every single thing, was helping take care of her, the whole nine. Like, so I just felt like that was a normal thing for people to just kind of take care of your parents when they need it. Like, I felt like that was normal. I'm like, I feel like that's normal.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a good thing to if you can. You know, not everyone can, and
Right.
I don't have kids, so I mean, it is what it is. And I say, so the plan, my niece had talked about, so my sister's daughter had talked about, so she's married, she has kids, and she had talked about getting a house and possibly having my mom move in with her, which would be nice because my niece is like the best with my mom. Like my mom is spoiled with her and she loves it, and that would be fantastic. But if that doesn't ever happen, like if I find someone, they're gonna have to like accept me and my mom together. Like we're gonna have to be a package.
A package deal.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who's grown would understand that, I feel like.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, if they have a problem with that, then I mean, I guess we're not.
I lived with my ex and like he couldn't get along with my dad, and I was like, I love you, but not more than my dad. So peace out. Like I can't. Yeah.
That's like a
I
big
was
thing
like,
for me.
bye.
Like, I don't
And
do the
literally
whole
my
like
dad moved me out like the next day. He had moving trucks and everything. I'm like, this is why. Like,
yeah, I can put up with a lot, but then once it starts to be like you're disrespecting my family, or you're trying to take away like me from my family,
yeah, my ex used to try to like use that against me, and as in like being abusive. He would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, like you're fucking obsessed with your dad. Like it's weird." And I'm just like, "What?" Like he's my best friend. He will have my back. He'll do anything for me. Like anytime in my life, even when I've been the fuck up. Like, what do you mean? Like that's my dad.
Yeah.
So I was like, "You gotta go, dude. Like you gotta go." So 3 years, and I said bye.
Yeah, and I regret like when I was was dating someone for quite some time. I regret like all the time that I just wasted with that person because like I spent so much time with them that I didn't spend enough time with my family and with my dad. And now my dad is like, you think about all this stuff like after, and now my dad is not here, and I'm like, they already had me when they were older. Like my dad was like 40 something when I was born. So when I was like of age of being able to like know things, like he was already older. And so I didn't have I didn't have much time with my dad. Yeah, I do. My mom gets on my nerves sometimes, but I'm not gonna be like, oh, she doesn't bother me at all. She does, but you know,
I feel like that's a normal mom and daughter
Yeah.
relationship because
Yeah.
my mom always tells me, she's like, dude, you're on my fucking nerves, and then hangs up on me like all the time. But I also I also call my mom like probably 15 to 20 times a day. I'm like, hey mom, what are you doing?
That's how I am too.
And she's like, girl, what do you want? And I'm like, oh, well, I actually just went to Walmart and I bought hangers. And she's like, for like, is that all you needed? And I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to show you my hangers. And she's like, I'm getting off the phone. It's literally 10 o'clock at night. Like, I don't care about your hangers.
I sometimes if my mom doesn't call me for a little bit, like I'm like, I call her and I'm like, well, this is when I was living out of the house, but I'm like, you haven't called me. Hello, like what's going on? Because I'm used to talking to her like so today.
Yeah, me too.
And my mom like works for a small business type thing. It's like a family-owned restaurant. And like even like all the servers and stuff obviously know all of her kids. She's been there for like 14 years. And so we all have each other like on Facebook. And there's like a whole running joke where my mom can't go a certain amount of time without talking to us kids. Or we'll think she's like dead and stuff. And the one time she didn't answer me for like a couple hours. So I was younger. I was like in middle school and I called the store phone and I was like, where's my mom? I need to talk to my mom right now. And my mom was like, dude, I'm literally working. She's like, I cannot wait until you have kids one day and they call you at your store phone and say, where are you?
Oh my
I'm like, I just
gosh.
had to check on you, mom. I just needed to make sure.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing with her. I feel I get sad sometimes because since my mom can't text anymore, she used to send like when she used to be able to text, she used to send emojis. I don't know if that's still a thing, but like remember when you could send like expressions with like a pretend version of yourself?
Yeah.
Well, she used to send those and like it was just the funniest thing. Like she used to send like the funniest emojis all the time and you know, I really wish that I had saved those messages because now like she can't text me. She only uses Siri to text and it's not
Not the
like
same.
not the same. And so like I wish I would have saved all that stuff because now like the communication is so different. Yeah, so yeah. Aw, Sarah, I'm sorry. But yeah. Well, I
Anyways,
think
Faith, wait, hold on. I have a question. Were you in here any of the point where when Stephanie was in here?
So I joined for like 5 minutes and then I did take my Walmart trip to get hangers. And then I and then I came out of Walmart with Josie and I went to go back up the car and the tire was like completely flat and I was like, oh my God, someone help me. I'm like, I can't. So I literally just joined back. Like I got home and joined like right back. So I missed like all of that.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna try and start. Well, not try and start. I will be posting this one on YouTube, like all the lives on YouTube. I'm gonna try and go back and post the rest of them, but this one will be going on YouTube like probably within the next day or so. If anyone wants to review like Stephanie's part, maybe Melly can tell me how to leave a description, say like what minutes she was there for.
Yeah, I can tell you. I can show you how to do it.
I don't think we're gonna go over the federal habeas thing to that video today because we've been on for quite some time, but we will do that next time and probably we'll do it on Rose's channel. I think that would be good. That way we can get other people. So anyone who have not followed Rose, like follow her and Melly. Because I think the next live is gonna be on Rose's channel. Is there a line there? Do you guys see a line?
Yeah, I'm working on a couple Kenzie lives for the week, so I'll let you guys know when I do Kenzie.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my videos, my iPad, I don't know. But yeah, so the next one we'll do, okay, so you don't see a line. I don't know why.
How do I find Stephanie? Stephanie
Esquire. Well, I'll send it to you, Sarah. But I think
Okay,
you can
yeah.
find her just by that. Stephanie Esquire, I think, will come up right away.
I'll
She's
try and do a
awesome.
little clip. Yeah, she is, and she's like blunt, and she says it how it is. Like, I love her. I
And
started
she,
watching
like, when she said, like, oh, I'm just like you guys, it's like, oh, like, no, you're not. But yeah, you are. You know?
Cute. Thanks for trying to make me
We're
feel
like,
included,
you're a criminal
girl.
defense attorney, girl. Like,
I was like, oh, I was so nervous that she wasn't gonna come. Like, I thought she was just like telling me yes, so I can just get out of her life.
Get the fuck
no,
outta
she even
here.
said, like, let her know when you want her to come back up again. So we'll have to, like, plan a live and
Yeah, we'll do
really go
something
in.
else.
Yeah.
But I think that's it for tonight. We'll put another flyer when we have like what we're gonna do for Rose's the Live on Rose's channel. And we'll reconvene over there.
Okay, guys. Sounds good.
Good night,
Have a
Thanks for having us up.
everyone.
Good
Thanks
night.
for coming.
Bye.